Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another day of NGS. Today is going to be a doubleheader, as I should probably move to the center of the camera. It's going to be first Division A Fancy Flightless Fowl versus Came From Behind, and then later on we will be going to the B West division between Bunker Funtime and Roll 1 Esports. But we'll talk about that game later on, because today, and first of all, we are starting with this Div A. So now if we take a quick look at the standings, assuming it does function, but we are seeing both these teams down here. Points Donation Squad, or sorry, not Points Donation Squad, Fancy Flightless Fowl over at 0 points, and Came From Behind over at 1 point. So these are two teams that are sitting near the bottom of the table right now, but it is important to note that it's very early in the season. Anything can still happen, and overall there's half the teams are at 4 points or below, and that can be changed in just one day. And for one of these teams, they can get at least 3 points. Now, the map pick and bans have already happened. The coin toss was won by Came From Behind, and they decided on the map pick. Fancy Flightless Fowl banned Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity, whereas Came From Behind banned Sky Temple and Garden of Terror. And the map was Brax's Holdout. It is one of my favorite maps to play. It's one of my favorite maps to cast. And I'm really looking forward to the game today, because this is going to be a ton of fighting. Brax's Holdout just naturally forced teams to do that. Now, we are waiting on a couple other players to join, but this is a good opportunity for both of these teams to try and take a lead, try and build up some momentum. Obviously, neither one of these teams have won a series so far in the season. Like I said, it's still early, so this isn't indicative of anything else that's going to be happening in the season. Maybe one of these teams will be able to hit the threshold where they're finally able to just start winning, and they can chain together a bunch of wins and start doing well. We'll be able to see as time goes on. But now, speaking more with Brax's Holdout, it is going to be a very interesting map. And specifically, I think it's one of the few maps where it is better to have the counter pick as the 10th pick. At least that's my philosophy. I'm sure other teams, other players will have their own. And HOTS is a game where individual style and preference matters a lot more than meta. But I will give you my opinion on it anyway, because I think that having a winning offlane is really important on this map. If you're able to have a winning 1v1 matchup, it puts so much pressure on the 4 to try and move around and get the win. But it looks like both teams are ready, so we should be heading into the draft momentarily. Yeah, there we go. We are going to be starting for game number 1, Fancy Flightless Fowl versus Came From Behind. Oh, JK. It's not letting them start for some reason. I wonder why. We may have to remake the lobby. Well, I guess I can talk more about Brax's Holdout. Wait, someone doesn't meet requirements? I wonder if someone has like an old version or something. Well, some lobby issues. We'll figure it out as we go. But yeah, to go back to Brax's Holdout, I think it's really important to have the second pick, because if you win the offlane, it provides so much pressure where the foreman kind of needs to move up. They need to either win in their lane or provide extra players to come over to that top side and try winning from there. And if they're able to, and because of that, it kind of puts a lot of pressure onto the team that picks second, or that picks first, to try and have a team composition to win. Hopefully we should be able to get started. Some player apparently didn't meet the requirements, so they just left and re-entered the lobby. And no, it looks like it's still broken. What? I don't know if anyone's ever had this issue. May need to restart the game. Wondering what else I can talk about. Yeah, I guess I can talk about the fact that both these teams, they are near the bottom of Division A right now. And this could be a moment to try and build up some confidence, try and build up some momentum. And if they're able to get this first win, if they're able to get especially a 2-0, getting 4 points today is really important. It would be really big for either of these two teams to be able to to be able to get those extra points for themselves. I believe Division A is top 8 teams make playoffs. In fact, just as an update, we are remaking the entire lobby now. Hopefully won't take too long. But yeah, there's, I believe, 12 teams. Or 11 teams, yeah. And I believe top 8 make playoffs. So really, as long as you're not in that bottom 3, you will have a chance at redemption. Being a strong team closer to playoffs is more important than being a strong team during the regular season. So if you're able to build up a little bit of momentum, if you're able to chain some wins together and really start playing well and get that cohesion built up as the season goes along, it can go a long way and could potentially even turn into a win for Division A. And that's what I want to see today from both these two teams. And I also want to see how they're able to transition into the next week. But for today, just going to have to deal with this right now. But yeah, as an aside, since it looks like it's still going to be a bit, the new lobby has been made, just waiting on the players to rejoin. Today's schedule is going to be this Division A game starting right now. And then at 8 p.m., we're going to have a game for Div B West, Bunker Fun Time versus Roll 1 Esports. So that'll be in a little under 2 hours. And depending on how much time is in between, I'll either just take a short break. If we end up going for an hour and an hour 40, an hour 50, I'll just take a short break between the series. If it's a quick series, I will be doing some sponsored content for our current sponsor, Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Now, Tiki Solitaire 3peaks, for those of you who don't know, it's just standard 3peak solitaire rules with a twist. It's a pretty relaxing game, and I really love the island theme of it. Just something good to do in the background whenever you're on the bus or just waiting in queue. Okay, but it looks like we are going to finally be able to start here. And I should mention during that sponsor segment, I will be giving away 2 gifted subs, thanks to all of you that participated in our previous campaign. So thank you very much, and we're heading into draft. Alright, so the draft has begun, and this is one of the few maps where Dahaka isn't necessarily a must-have meta pick. Obviously, it's still powerful. Isolation is a very strong tool, as well as the Brush Stalker, turning that 4v4 into a 5v4. But every time you do that, you will have to give up that beacon over on the top side. So I'm wondering how they're going to draft instead for this. Now, Nubrak going to be the first ban from Fancy Flightless Fowl. Very strong engage from a Nubrak. I remember at one point was mostly picked just to be the anti-mage tank. But at this point, just also so good at the engages. And they're very consistent, and most importantly, they're very low cooldown. Unlike Diablo, a Nubrak does not rely on there being a wall to land that hard CC. And that's kind of the main point of a Nubrak. But now, Came From Behind is going to be banning away the Anduin, and Fancy Flightless Fowl, the Triple Fs, are going to ban away Brightwing. And Haka actually will be banned by Came From Behind this game. So they are still worried about it. Like I said, the Isolation is still a very powerful ability. The double clear and the global not quite as impactful on this map. At least I think going off lane to main lane isn't quite as impactful as it is going the other way around. But Greymane going to get locked in for Alfie. Greymane obviously has 2 builds, the Worgen build. The Cask build to some extent as well, though typically that does mix with the Worgen build. And now we have Stukov and Junkrat for Huckett and Mr. Hustler. 2 very, very annoying heroes to play into. I don't think anyone can deny that. Lurkanar from Stukov, obviously super massive pain to deal with. And the Junkrat going to be throwing you around, going to be trapping you. Not a ton of fun to play into, but is a ton of fun to watch. And speaking of fun to watch, Stitches locked in for a Gingy Boy, and the Malfurion combo to follow for Steph with an F. And I really like the Malfurion into the Stitches because you can land the Entangling Roots directly underneath the Stitches. If the hook lands, that root will land, the sleep will land. You can time it with a Gorge. You can you have options, and that's the main point of it. It'll unlock a lot more aggressive options. And it will also unlock the longer CC pre-10 before the Gorge is up. And alternatively, you can set it up after the Gorge. All depends on what you need for the team. But now Kel'Thuz's is going to be banned away by Came From Behind. And the final ban is going to be coming out for Fancy Flightless Fowl. No tank picked. Probably need another DPS. Junkrat, very solid as a hero, but does need another damage dealer to really come fully online. And Joanna is going to be the final ban. Now I'm wondering what their move is going to be here, because typically Anduin is the probably the best healer counter, and Joanna is probably the best tank counter due to the iron skin. Gives a little bit more options, gives a little bit of difficulty. And they're going to lock in the ETC for Gurk Freezer and the Phoenix for Top Gun. Okay. And on Brax's holdout, we may see the Planet Cracker, and that's one of my favorite abilities in this entire game. Just big laser go brrr. All that really matters here in this game. And now Fancy Flightless Fowl gonna have to pick their final two heroes here. Greymane could solo DPS, but they will need an offlaner. They have the tank, and it's going to be Leoric for Silverbell. And Backmang, the final pick, gonna be the Nazebo. So lots of scaling for Fancy Flightless Fowl. And especially with the Nazebo gonna become super tanky later in the game. Phoenix and Junkrat, they may fall behind a little bit in DPS, but Mojo and the Samuro definitely going to help out with that. So it's going to be Leoric into Samuro. And Samuro, very solid in this top lane. Going to be very good at dealing with the Leoric, because it can just permanently remove the Drain Hope by jumping between clones. So the one-on-one, I believe, will go in favor of Came From Behind. And that's the benefit of being that second pick. And now it's just going to be a little while, and we're going into game number 1. It's time to see which of these two teams will be able to get some points on the board.
Facility powering up.
We're about to begin.
All right, and here we are, map number 1. Sorry, I've changed my production wheel a little bit, so sometimes I press on the wrong button, so that's why you saw that double stinger animation. But either way, we're here. Fancy Flightless Fowl versus Came From Behind. And these are both pretty interesting drafts. So it's going to be a 4-core Nazebo. Now, Nazebo does rely a little bit on getting some stacks before really coming into full power in terms, before going into full fruition. But at the same time, the overall DPS from the side of Came From Behind may be a little bit low. Junkrat does deal damage, same with Phoenix, but I think they need Samuro to be there. They're probably going to be relying on that 504. Now they're going to get a little bit of poke with those grenades, and the hook will land on Mr. Hustler, but with the power slide, and be able to bring them back. And now JJ Boy in a bad spot, going to get hit with the face metal. It's just getting body blocked. But the Entangling Roots will be okay. I believe it's called Entangling Roots. Yeah, Entangling Roots. Okay, we're good. But this will allow first move for Came From Behind. They're going to be able to get at least a little bit of the push started. And they do have the hit onto Alfie. And Alfie gets knocked to the back and will get taken down. First blood going for Came From Behind. And they're still chasing on to Gingy Boy, but just going to do a little bit of poke damage. Not going to be able to get them. But now they do pull Gurk Freezer back. But with the power slide will be okay. Now Top Gun throwing around the Plasma Cutter, just trying to get as much poke damage onto Gingy Boy. But Malfurion is probably one of the best healers for consistent healing, as the Concussion Mine just going to throw them backwards. And first move definitely in favor of Came From Behind. Gingy Boy still walking forward. They're posturing very aggressively on Triple F. Now the beacons are activating in 10 seconds, and that's when they could look for the other hook. They will land it onto Top Gun, and Top Gun just going to be able to walk away. Gingy Boy gonna be stunned in the lurking arm. Getting pretty low, but with the healing, we'll be okay. Now, Gurk Freezer also getting hit. Alfie just trying to DPS over on the back line. And speaking of Alfie, it is going to be the Worgen build. At least that's what we're seeing from the level 1 talent. And as another hook lands onto GRK Freezer, but they're onto Alfie, and Alfie's gonna be stuck in the back. And Huckett with the final auto gets the kill. 2-0 right now. And now Ginger Boy trying to run away, looking towards the siege camp. But both of these points are going to be in favor of Came From Behind. They have the top side. They have the bot side. And it's about a half-level lead right now for Came From Behind as well. And I'm wondering how they're going to clear this on the side of Triple F. Because they will have a little bit of damage coming out from the Nazebo. Ginger Boy gets jumped upon a little bit. Just a little bit of poke damage. Nothing too major. And actually going to be a kill the top side. Silverbell and Alfie going to be able to take down Mojo. And now, but in the meanwhile, Batman going to get thrown back. Will get finished off. So immediately answered. 3-1 is the scoreline. Alfie going to be standing on the point. Just trying to buy a little bit of time. And we'll be able to buy a little bit. As Ginger Boy gets hit by the plasma cutter once again. Luckily, the sustain from Steph with an F is pretty solid, so poke composition like this don't have as large an effect. And now Ginger Boy scared to walk up. They do have the concussion mine on the point, and that makes it so much more difficult to walk up and play aggressively. Now Batman is back. Ginger Boy looking for the hook, just going to land it onto the ETC though. And with the face melt, Gurk Freezer gonna be able to just walk away. Now Ginger Boy trying to play aggressively, but the power slide is going to interrupt them. The concussion mine will throw them further back. Ginger Boy sides by the lurking arm and will get finished off as the Zerg are spawning. The Zerg rush has begun. Now Alfie just gonna reposition with the roll, but it's gonna be so difficult stopping this. The Banelings are going to land. The wall is already gone. Gurk Freezer looking to play aggressively, but not gonna be able to land. The entangling roots are there with the sleep. But the Banelings will still even be able to land onto the fort itself. And with the plasma cutter, Top Gun able to deal so much damage to this as well. Huckett gonna get stuck within the entangling roots, but this should be this entire fort taken down. The level lead isn't super high quite yet. Came From Behind, sitting at actually less than half a level now, due to that solo kill on the top side. But now Ginger Boy in a bad spot. Gonna be getting auto down a little bit. Same with Gurk Freezer. Just need one more hit. Top Gun gets hooked, but with the teleport, we'll be able to get away. And that's going to be the first fort going down. Huge value out of that Zerg wave. And it is level 7 to 6 right now, but they are just going to walk backwards. They're going to take their own camps. Mojo going to be taking the top side camps. And with that, we're going to have a little brief period as both teams just collect all the neutrals on the map. Batman gonna be soloing onto this bruiser camp. And it is pretty interesting to see that it is the Worgen build. I want to continue keeping an eye on these talents. And actually, no, it's gonna be just the Worgen build for level 1. And it is going to be the auto attack build, getting the extra range. I assume later on we'll get the splash, and the splash damage does do a lot. Especially when you have members like the ETC that just want to stand right in front with the rest of the team. And now they're going to be pushing in this top side. Lurking arm going to be used for poke, but Top Gun going to get hooked into the wall, though. Cannot hook over it. With that, Alfie just autoing onto Huck, and Silverbell coming in, but without level 10. The Leoric isn't quite as scary an engaged hero. Now the hook going to get thrown out, not going to land either. The concussion mine, not going to throw anyone back, but Ginger Boy might be getting caught out just a little bit. Lurking arm dealing a decent amount of damage, but don't have the follow-up to finish that kill off. And a lot of the poke is actually starting to go back into Came From Behind, but now they have the power slide into the face melt towards Alfie. Top Gun not going to get hooked, just barely out of range. Mr. Hustler getting poked out a little bit by Alfie and Batman. And this Nazebo is really able to push, but in the meanwhile, Mojo has the full siege camp shoving out in the bot side. Silverbell trying to walk up, but Mojo is just going to be autoing into it. And that'll be very difficult for Silverbell. Actually gets taken out quite low. So that's going to be first move for them. But Batman, concussion mine, most likely back into the team. And Top Gun will come in, but not even needed. The plasma cutter going to finish off the second. And it's a 2-0 for Came From Behind, just as the beacons will activate. So they can even leave Mojo to play aggressively, but doesn't seem like they will. They're going to let Mojo come back, get the point, and try and pressure top lane instead. That seems to be their main focus right now. They want to get that second fort off of the map. Now Lurking Arm just going to be used to poke a little bit, just create some zoning. We're not going to be able to get too much else. Mojo already up here as well, looking for Alfie. They do see Alfie just going to auto-attack a little bit, but with the entangling roots, going to prevent any further follow-up as Batman gets thrown back with the concussion mine, but the hook is going to land as well. They're going to take down Batman, and Girk Freezer will be able to run away. Now Alfie's in a bad spot. They're autoing onto them. Got the power slide stun, and Mosh Pit used just to finish off Alfie. Dancing like no one's watching, and that's because the team was not there. With the concussion mine, it's so difficult to follow up on those kinds of plays. And now with that, the wall's going to be taken down, and now the next Zerg Rush is coming through. And once again, they don't really have good wave clear for it. And Alfie, probably their best attempt at the wave clear, is not going to be there. The Baneling's going to be dealing so much damage to this fort. And they still have basically the entire Zerg wave still available for this second wall. The wave just going to be in the way a little bit, going to tank a couple of the Banelings. In fact, will tank up the last of him. But still, a lot of damage going to be getting dealt over the top. Concussion mine going to throw Batman back, but no follow-up is available. Will be angled into the gate. But now they're able to get onto Alfie, and Alfie's going to get thrown into the back and will get finished off. Lurking Arm just to zone away the help, but in the meanwhile, Girk Freezer is going to be hit into the back, is going to get silenced as well, and will get finished off, as it is the Twilight Dream as the heroic. But now Mr. Hustler in a bad spot with a concussion mine will be able to just jump away. But that will ease the pressure over on this top side. But in this bot side, Mojo's still hitting onto the wall. Will finish off the gate and only has one more of these structures to finish off before this bot wall is gone as well. Alfie going to be here trying to ease the pressure a little bit, but this wall is gone no matter what. Ginger Boy, however, looking for the play, sees Mr. Hustler. Not going to be able to land it. That hook was so close. And it is level 13 to level 11 now for Came From Behind. They could definitely try and posture more aggressively here. What's going to be difficult for them is that the hook is one of those abilities that at all points in the game could change the dynamic of the team fight. If they're not careful, as Mojo actually taking out quite though, but Alfie might be out of position now with the power slide, but the hook is going to land on a Top Gun, and they have the Gorge. They try to jump away. Can they follow up? Top Gun in a bad spot, and with the entangling roots will be able to get the kill. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, because the nature of the hook, it'll pull someone so far away from the team, and with Stukov as your healer, you don't have the cleanse, you don't have a way of preventing the hook once it lands. But now Ginger Boy might be in a bad spot, will get thrown into the back line, trying to slow them down, but Ginger Boy is starting to get quite low as well. Batman going to try and throw down the zombie wall, as Ginger Boy is still trying to get away. Alfie just trying to DPS over onto Mojo. The fight starting to split into two parts, but Ginger Boy going to go down. Alfie still looking to DPS a little bit, will get hit by the secondary face melt from the boombox. But it is going to be another 1-0 for Came From Behind. And now Mojo's going to be starting onto that siege camp. So that's going to be another camp that they're going to be able to take for themselves. And meanwhile, Silverbell trying to get something back for the team. They are down a full talent here right now, close to level 13, however. As Top Gun still looking to fight into Silverbell. Pretty big one-on-one so far. And with the Plasma Cutter dealing so much damage, Top Gun trying so hard. Silverbell will get taken down. So a nice solo kill for Top Gun in the top side. Siege camp has been taken. Bruiser camp has been started. Now the hook not going to land. And it will be difficult for them to play into this. It is 4v5 on the map. The positioning and the waves are in favor for Came From Behind. A Silverbell may be respawning soon. And luckily, whenever someone does get picked off, it is best when it is the Leoric. But now Ginger Boy does see Girk Freezer. Mojo just trying to play up. But they do have Ginger Boy stuck in the back lane. They're going to be able to get them into the entangling roots. And now they're just DPSing hard. Power slide, nowhere to go with the wall. And it's going to be a free kill. Silverbell does respawn and always gets taken down. But now Huckett, they got the Stukov in the back. They get the pull. Couple more autos. And they will be able to get a 2-for-0 for Triple F. And they may be able to get something back for this. Now they're looking towards the beacons. They're already at 80%. They just need to get one of them back. Batman and Ginger Boy gonna walk backwards forward and looking for the hook, and Mr. Hustler almost gets hit by, and Top Gun actually going to be able to take him in the last second and is getting low. Alfie gonna try and get this kill and should be able to secure it, but that's gonna be another wave of Zerg pushing to the bot side. 100 to 18% And now Alfie's fighting on to Mojo. Mojo trying to run away. They see Mojo, but not going to be able to land the hook. Alfie looking to get the final hit. One more auto is needed if they get the vision, but Mr. Hustler is here. And actually, Mr. Hustler might be the one to sacrifice themselves for Mojo. And Mr. Hustler will get taken down. Alfie gets the kill. But while they're chasing them, the Zerg are rushing. The Zerg are in this bot lane, dealing damage to their keep. Now, how fast can they clear when there's no one else to deal with them? This is easier and faster to clear away. Alfie obviously dealing way more in Worgen form, and without any members that came from behind, can safely stay in Worgen form to just clear out the backline. Very good defense. Unlucky that came from behind. We're able to get that 100%, able to get that Zerg spawn, and because of that, it also removed the boss from the map. So any potential objective they could have gotten from that win was negated. But what it did do for them is it closed this level gap. Only a half level lead. So they are level 16 right now to the level 15. But a couple more waves will get them on an even talent here. And they should be able to start fighting for this next set of beacons. But now Mojo trying to get in the way as level 16 is finally hit. And the Bruiser camp is going to get finished off. Came from behind, finished both of their camps from the backside. Now Alfie just trying to auto onto everyone is a little bit out of position. Mr. Hustler and Top Gun trying to chase onto Alfie, and will be getting decent amount of poke, but they have the gorge. They just immediately gorge onto this hero, but now Mr. Hustler is stuck, and they're able to get one, and now they're looking for the Junkrat and will cancel the rocket ride. But with the concussion ride, we'll be able to get away, but now all members are going to be in the mosh pit, but immediately canceled by the Twilight Promise. And now Gurk Freezer trying to run away. Silverbell in the backline, chasing onto Mr. Hustler with just a couple more hits, but the rocket ride is going to be back. But now Huckett is going to get hooked in. Silverbell going to go down to the backline, but Huckett looks like they will be soon to follow. If they get onto it with Worgen form, Alfie will be able to do it. Just chasing onto Gurk Freezer. Need a couple more hits, and will be able to take him down once again with the Worgen. Now Alfie chasing onto Mr. Hustler. The fight keeps going. But during all of this, Siege Camp, topside, Bruiser Camp, bot side, came from behind. They're just winning in the waves. But the boss is gonna be taken by Fancy, Flightless, Fowl. And both keeps will go down, even though Triple F were the ones to win the fight. Mojo will be able to secure this, and even the core is gonna start getting poked. But with this boss, maybe they can start getting something back, get a little bit of lane pressure back in their hands. A Silver Bell has respawned and will finish clearing this away. Now the boss is going to be over this bot side, just trying to clear away this wall. Top Gun gonna get hooked, and with the gorge, they could look to chain it into more and more kills. And now they have the root, they have the sleeve, have a couple more autos. Just need one more. Alfie, we're not going to be able to get it, but the second hook is going to land, and that will be the kill. But now Mojo in a bad spot. Worgen form actually dealing decent amount of damage to Mojo. And with this boss pushing bot, they've already taken down the wall. They're going to get started onto the fort, and getting anything in their hands is going to be good. It's going to lower the pressure that they're receiving from all of these different waves. Now Ginger Boy looking for another hook. They do have 4v5 on the map for a little bit. They could try sieging, and Mr. Hustler almost gets caught into it. But now the concussion mine, Alfie's in a bad spot, trying to run away, and will be able to, at least for a little while. But in the meanwhile, Gurk Freezer gets jumped upon on the other side. And Alfie is still in a bad spot, but Mr. Hustler might be the one getting caught out instead. But no, they will be able to take down. But Mr. Hustler gets hit by the hook. Gingy Boy able to provide a massive hook there to even out this trade. But now the fight's still going on, and the Planet Cracker over top into the mosh pit. They're going to get the healer. Mojo will get hooked. I don't think they have the damage for it. Batman is going to throw out the zombie wall, but gets caught inside it. Mojo still looking for the kill. Gonna get hit by the frogs. And with the stasis, Mojo going to be able to heal back up. And now the beacon progress actually a little bit going over. And traded 1-for-1. They're able to take Huckett down for Batman. That was a long team fight, but let's see what actually ended up happening. Silverbell still has control over this topside beacon. We'll have to give it away, at least for a little while. And Silverbell is going to try and sneak this bottom beacon during this. And I think that's a great move, because now it's going to be 6%. That is not a big deal, and they're slowing down the progress that's going to be hit by Came From Behind. Now Mojo's still playing forward, going to take a few autos from Alfie. And Alfie now does have the bonus attack speed. Now Mojo trying to run away will be able to. Alfie actually taking a decent amount of poke damage. And Mojo might be getting stuck, and Alfie will be able to get that kill. So that's going to be a very big pick off for them. And this time they have enough time, they have enough percentage to try and get back onto this beacon. It is 4v5 or 4v4 on the map. Now it's 4v5 as Batman will respawn. Ginger Boy is positioning forward, looking for the brush, but not going to be able to land it. Going to try and get the slow instead. They're positioning very aggressively right now on the side of Fancy Flightless. Fowl level 20s on both sides. Silverbell looking for the play. Will be able to get the entomb with the sides. And now they have the hook on Huckett. And Huckett is going to be stuck in the back line. Alfie just needs a little more autos and will be able to get it. Silverbell will go down in the process, but that's healer for offlane. And Top Gun into bad spot. Same with Kirk Freezer. Will be able to just jump away. Moshpit has been hit. And Planet Cracker over top. But they will finish off the tank, and now Top Gun is going to get hooked into the back, and there's just nowhere for Top Gun to go. Top Gun also going to get finished off. It's a 3-for-1 in favor of Fancy Flightless Fowl. And now they're going to steal the Bruiser camp. They're going to take this topside beacon as well. They are getting sieged upon, but should be able to clear this out enough. Now the Bruiser camp has been taken over in this bot side, and they will be able to take this fort, and that's going to give them at least something to start pushing with. They will have the basic attack splash damage too, and that's going to be a huge difference as these teamfights continue. But now Ginger Boy looking topside. Silverbell about to respawn. Looking for Mr. Hustler. Will jump away. And the hook will not land. Mojo also trying to fight off. And Steph with an F. Gonna get taken out really low. Almost finished off, but now Mojo is jumping in the back and actually able to get the kill with the grenades. But Mr. Hustler was stuck, but will not be able to get away. However, they will be able to take down Mojo over in the backline during all of that. So it is a 1-for-1 trade, and the beacon progress still benefits Fancy Flightless Fowl. They're going to try stealing the camp and also looking towards boss, but it doesn't seem like they're committing to it. But now they do have the beacon. It is spawning, and it's going to be 52% up top, but the siege camp will help slow down a little bit of the next wave, hopefully anyway. And they have 100% Zerg on the bot side. And the way they're positioning, it looks like they may even be trying to just push in and try and end the game here, though with Batman resetting. May not be the case. Planet Cracker just going to be used defensively to help clear away the Zerg, but not dealing too much damage to the front line. Now Top Gun gonna get hooked. Do they have the follow-up? It's just two members here, and Alfie looking towards Top Gun, just autoing onto Girk Freezer, and so much damage being done. The extendo arm gonna get used, and Top Gun gets hooked again. Gingy Boy able to land lightning twice, and Girk Freezer gonna be dancing. But now with the autos, Alfie will be able to get the kill, but will Alfie get traded for it? Definitely seems like it. The mosh pit from the dead, but Gingy Boy will be able to just back away. They got a lot of damage over onto this keep, but their own core starting to get hit by the Zerg. It's a 2-for-1, so they will have at least a little bit of pressure back. And when Stefan with an F is gone, the combo becomes so much harder to do. The Malfury and Stitches combo is so powerful, and luckily Ginger Boy, well, not luckily, Ginger Boy showing the skill, able to land the hook twice into this Phoenix. Now they're going to clear away their camps. They're going to take their Bruiser camp. And slowly but surely, Batman is scaling. And Azebo is one of those late game heroes. And I think that's a big reason why these fights are starting to get closer. Batman's damage is not something to scoff at. And with these two camps, they could have a little bit of an easier time managing the waves and could even consider going for the boss. But it will be difficult since all 5 members of Came From Behind are up. Now they're rotating up to this top side, looking for the play. And with no beacons up right now, neither team really needs to posture super aggressively. But that benefits Came From Behind. They're going to have the natural push. They have the extra waves. They have the extra forts. And that makes it so difficult for Triple F to try and fight back onto this. They could look towards the boss. But again, when you have the Stitches, all you need is just that one hook. If you're able to land the one hook, it means everything. Now the side of Came From Behind, they're just playing defensively. They're posturing all the way back near their keep. It seems they're okay to give the map to Triple F because they know slowly but surely, they will be able to get the numbers advantage because their top lane is constantly pushing in. They don't even have the fort. But now Mojo looking for Silverbell. Silverbell will be able to get the Wraith Walk, but gets taken down about a third HP. Luckily, Stefan with an F is here for the healing. So we'll be okay for now. But someone does need to go back and start dealing with those waves. It's only going to get worse if they don't. And they're going to send Batman and Silverbell for now. And Batman will be able to get some stacks with this. And it is the spider build, by the way. It is the spider jar. But 135 stacks. The hook not going to land. Just a blind hook. Fishing in these brushes. Now the beacons are back up. Top one is in favor of Triple F. And I like that they are playing towards this top side. They at least have the fort down on the bot side. So any passive push will still be less than if it's pushing from this top side. They'll be able to clear away the siege camp. And now the bruiser camp also pushing over on the bot side. But now, came from behind. They're positioning near the boss. And with a concussion of mind, looking. And they're going to be able to pull away Gingy Boy. And Silverbell actually in the backline going to use the Entomb, but doesn't matter because Silverbell's all alone. And now Gurk Freezer is going to be unkillable, going to get pulled back. But that was the big ultimate. Top Gun just barely out of range. And now they have the pick. They're going to have the Zerg, and they have the waves. I think that they need to try fighting this 45, or at least trying to delay this beacon as long as possible. If they're able to get the Zerg spawn, I don't know if Triple F can defend into it. Luckily, the person they lost, oh, Mr. Hustler jumps over the wall, but they have the setup, and Mr. Hustler should go down. And with the spider, so much damage. The silence already thrown out to the backline as well. Gurk Freezer going to get hooked. Nowhere to go. Tries to power slide away, but Batman and everyone else is going to have more than enough damage. Ginger Boy starting to get low as well and will get finished off in the end. Stefan with the net getting jumped upon in the back from Mojo as Alfie trying to finish off faster than possible, but now Silverbell is back, has the silence on the healer, just needs a little bit more damage, but the extendo arm is going to be there for the save, and Alfie not able to finish off Mojo in the backline, but Mojo still wants to play aggressive, but won't be able to get to Alfie in time. But the fight is happening over on this side. Silverbell looking for the play. Won't have the Entomb for about 20 more seconds. Just trying to drain hope onto Top Gun. And Huckett with the extender arm just going to throw them all the way back. And the Planet Cracker used for the style points as Top Gun able to get the kill. And now it's 3 against 2 on the map. The beacon is going. This is going to be a siege camp and the Zerg pushing into Triple F. I don't know if Fancy Flightless Fowl will be able to defend against this. But they need to try. This is their only option. They're going to have their stitches up in 3 seconds. And I think they need to land a hook very early if they want to have any hope of being able to defend into this. But Ginger Boy looking for the angle. Silverbell gonna respawn soon. And they have Batman up as well. They're able to land the hook just onto a little Zergling. They're going to be able to clear it away. Now Top Gun gonna get caught immediately into the gorge. Do they have the combo? They do have it set up, and now Top Gun into bad spot. Do they have the DPS? As Mojo also getting hit by Alfie in the backline will be forced to run away, but they just don't have the DPS yet. Silverbell does have Entomb, and Ginger Boy getting hit so hard by all of these Zerg, and that will be it. Came from behind, able to take game number 1. Now that's a pretty close game if I've ever seen one. Came from behind. I don't think they really came from behind. This time they did have a lead for most of the game. Fancy Flightless Fowl definitely made it seem close at some point. Those hooks from Gingy Boy doing so much damage and Alfie just DPSing the whole way through. But Mr. Hustler, Top Gun, Mojo, they had more than enough damage to answer back to them. And with just a couple of good team fights near the end of the game, they're able to secure this first map, and they're going to be able to secure at least 1 point for this series. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it'll be game number 2. So don't go anywhere.
Volskaya Industries.
And welcome back, everyone, for map number 2 between Fancy Flightless Fowl and Came From Behind. We are going to Volskaya Foundry. Very interesting map, not one I see picked too often, but it's an interesting map because really the Protector isn't that powerful of an objective, or I should say isn't that worthwhile. The amount of time you need to put into it in order to get the return on it isn't that great. So we'll see how these two teams decide to prioritize. For now, the bans are starting to come through. Came From Behind, going to ban the Anduin first. And just going to maintain that ban. Last time they also banned Ahaka as their second one. And Anubarak was the first ban for Triple F. And they're going to maintain that. Now Came From Behind, looking for their second ban. And if they're able to win this second map, they are going to be able to have that domination and those 4 points. And that would be massive to them. It would be massive for either of these two teams to even just be able to get the win. Getting those 3 points for Fancy Flightless Fowl, if they're able to mount the comeback, or Came From Behind, getting 3 or 4 points is going to be massive for them for this season. So this game matters. Every single game for these two teams is going to matter. As Junkrat going to be the second ban. So they don't want to play into that again. But now Top Gun going to insta-lock the Vala. Now, what does that leave open for Triple F? There aren't massive picks for them available. They do still have the Leoric. I don't know if they're going to go Stitches again. I do think this map is fine for Stitches. There's a lot of really good angles they could look to hook from. But they're going to go Falstad first for Batmang. And Oriole for Steph with an F. And I was a little bit surprised to see that Oriole went untouched in game number 1. This is a very powerful healer right now. There's a reason why it's getting nerfed in this next season, or in this next patch. Sorry, not next season. But especially once it gets later and later into the game, the Oriole is able to scale so hard and is able to provide so much value with the heals, especially during team fights. And now Ana going to get locked in for Mr. Hustler. And ETC for Mojo, interestingly enough. Because Gurk Freezer did play the ETC last time. Maybe Mojo's just their Samuro player. They're not looking to play Samuro this time around. Unless they do end up picking it later on in this draft. I'm not sure how great Samuro's on Volskaya Foundry. I believe it should still be fine. As the Leoric actually going to get banned away by Fancy Flightless Fowl. They're going to remove that Entomb. They're going to remove that team fight. And I'm guessing it's because it's very strong into someone like Oriole. And now the Samuro, yeah, definitely going to get banned from Came From Behind. So Mojo most likely will be sitting on that ATC. And we see a Cho'Gall! It's happening! We have an NGS Cho'Gall! It was not picked at all last split. We're going to see it this season. We're going to see it right now, today. Fancy Flightless Fowl going to play the Cho'Gall. Okay, I'm really excited. I don't know a single ability name from these two heroes. I have obviously seen it in the Storm League. I'm going to learn how to cast it as we go because this is something I've never had to cast before, but it's a Cho'Gall game. That's all I really need to say. That's all I can say. But Malthael and Tychus, 2% HP heroes, going to get locked in. And that's going to make things quite a bit more difficult because obviously Cho is going to have a ton of HP. So percent damaged is incredible value into them. And Vala also has the Mana Core at the level 16 talent. So there's going to be 3% HP heroes on Came From Behind. It's going to be a little bit difficult to play, but I don't even care. We see a Cho'Gall. I don't care if it loses. I don't care if it does nothing. I just want to see this hero played in competitive. And the final pick going to be Varian for Silverbell. And I'm wondering which build they're going to go with this Varian. Taunt obviously can still be played even in the offlane, but maybe it'll be the Shout, maybe it'll be the Stomp. We're gonna have to see. But either way, we're heading into game number 2. And as we go, I would like to remind you, this stream is sponsored by 3peaks. Exclamation 3peaks in the chat. All right, and we are into game number 2 with the Cho'Gall between Fancy Flightless Fowl and Came From Behind. Now, okay, so I'm going to need some time here because I don't know any of these ability names. So Surging Fist, Consuming Blaze, Rune Bomb. Don't even ask me what Gall does. I don't even know if I have a way of checking it. But it doesn't really matter. Right now, they are all grouping into the middle. They will be able to have that little sentinel thingy, so they will be able to walk forward. And I am also very curious to see which build Silverbell goes in this game. I would expect the potentially the stomp build, but now Mojo is going to get hit into the top side, but we'll be able to just power slide away. They're trying to DPS back, but with the health orb, will be okay. Neither team taking too much damage. It's going to be the Hammerang build coming out from Batman and the Hungering Arrow build coming out from Top Gun. And it's going to be also interesting because the Hungering Arrow build, I feel like will still be powerful, but maybe not quite as good as the auto attack build. With the Hungering Arrow build, should be able to take out the backline a little bit easier. But in my opinion anyway, I do think the auto attacks will do more. Having that extra attack speed later in the game will be able to proc the mana core. But maybe they're just looking for more immediate early game priority. Now Batman, in a weird spot, will be able to just dash away with a barrel roll. And will be able to even dismount them. Now Silverbell looking to walk forward. Gonna get hit back with a grenade. But we'll be able to back away. Mojo gonna take a little bit of damage from the cannon towers, but will be okay as well. But now Cho'Gall still pushing over into this middle. Alfie will be the name. Alfie and JD Boy or whatever that name was. I forgot it, I'll be honest. But now they are grouping over to the top, and they're just kind of bouncing waves back and forth. I think especially the side of Triple F. They need Silverbell to have that level 4 talent. That's kind of the main talent for Varian. And should be able to get it here. And it is going to be... Still holding on to it. It is going to be the Smash build. So that is going to be decent DPS. It is more of a dueling build rather than the taunt build. It's primarily used for engage and frontline. Now Fortification Camp gonna get answered by Came From Behind. And the Siege Camp gonna get answered by Triple F. They're gonna be able to take this back down. And they will be able to get a little bit of an extra push going out in the top side. Now the turret is being held by Huckett over in the mid lane. And now Genelfi looking for the backline. They see Top Gun. Top Gun going to be in a weird spot. Is taking a decent bit of damage. And Batbang able to get the first blood for Fancy Flightless Fowl. Now they're still looking forward. As Gurk Freeze are going to be just trading back onto Genelfi. But now Batbang also in a bad spot. Mojo and Huckett able to deal a decent amount of damage to them. But we'll be able to reset. Should still have flight. I don't believe I've seen Batman use it quite yet. So it can come back into the game very soon. Now both teams will have cleared away the siege camps. And the control point is now available over on this bot side. Going to be a little bit of training between Silverbell and Gurk Freezer. But the real fight's happening over the top side. They have the power slide onto Genelfi, but they have the Tamer Strike on Huckett. Huckett going to get taken down about half HP, but we'll be able to just walk away. Mr. Hustler will be throwing down those healing darts. We'll be able to get that heal back for them. And now 22 stacks on the Hammerang, 6 stacks on the Hungering Arrow. But now Mojo is going to get rooted up in the double Hungering Arrow. Going to be bouncing around onto Genelfi. But still, neither side has really gone to the objective. And as I say that, Mojo going to be standing on it and will start controlling the point. Silverbell trying to contest, but it's already a bit too late. Genelfi and Stefan with an F may be waiting for someone to try and cross to this top side, looking for the pick. But mid lane is going to get pushed first. Mojo going to be the one to walk forward. Stefan with an F will have the detainment strike. And Genelfi also going to get hit to the backline with the minigun, with the sleep. So much burst damage. And that's where that percent HP is really coming through. The minigun from the Tychus deals so much damage to Cho'Gall. And Huckett will be able to get that kill. And it's really 2 kills since they're able to get the entire pair of Cho'Gall. Now they're looking over in this mid lane. They will retake this control point. They did leave to get the kill. In fact, they don't really care about it. They're going to go straight for the fortification camp. Cho'Gall is back on the map, but will take a bit too long for them to get back into this. So a successful steal Came From Behind. Now they have 2 turrets and the healing orb ready. And now Mojo is in a weird spot. Silverbell looking to play forward. Now they're looking towards Hucket. Action onto Mr. Hustler. Silverbell dealing so much damage, but with the healing, they're going to be okay. The Bionic Emitter just keeping them alive. Same with the 2 turrets. Just too difficult to fight into. But that is a lot more used by the side of Came From Behind. So that is going to be every single turret, every single Bionic Emitter thrown out. But that is beneficial for Triple F since they only had the 1, but Came From Behind had to use 3 for it. But now they're on to their own fortification camp. Level 10 not taken quite yet, but now they're fighting over the backline. Mojo is on top of everyone, and Gurk Freezer jumps in, and they're just kind of DPSing onto the spell field. Gurk Freezer will be able to jump away in time, but does get taken down quite low. Janalfi looking to play aggressively onto the fortification camp, but it's starting to get low. Same with Silverbell. And the fortification camp does get secured. Mr. Hustler has the turret. And Gurk Freezer will be able to heal back up, had the well to tap from, and with the healing orb will be okay. Another control point at 87%, but once again, they're not really pushing forward quite yet. Batman trying to soak up level 10 for Triple F. But they are scared to walk up a little bit. 100% gonna be reached really soon here. And the Protector will spawn for Came From Behind. And now Top Gun and the Healer gonna be going into this. Immediately gonna be able to take down the wall. But now they're looking towards Mojo. Able to get a decent amount of poke. And now it's just going to be this Protector just DPSing onto the fort. Gurk Freezer's here as well. Now they're all fighting on top of it. They're able to take the Protector down to about half HP. Will need to start backing away. And now Mojo will have the ultimate going, but with an Attainment Strike into the wall, Mojo has nowhere to go and will get taken down. The Mosh Pit not able to accomplish what they seeked out to do. And because of that, the fight's going to be over. The push is going to be over. The Protector still has 20 seconds left. But not much else is going to be able to happen here. Top Gun just trying to push away this wave with the range. As Janelfi looking over to the top side will be able to pull Hucket back. And now they're looking for the DPS. And Hucket gonna get burst down. The Cho'Gall strength coming out into play. And that is the upheaval. I forgot that ability even exists. That's how often I see this hero. Now Silverbell trading with Gurk Freezer. Gurk Freezer looking to go forward, but we'll just come back and clear the wave instead. We'll have the HP advantage, and we'll be able to get the push advantage. But now it is 4v5 on the map for a little bit. Level 10s on both sides. Level 11 and 12 right now. Slight lead for Came From Behind, but not even half a level. Now they're looking for Top Gun, but with the Vault, we'll be able to be safe. Now Mojo grouping behind with Silverbell, but will be in protected mode. And the Faceball gonna throw them back, but there's not enough. But now Batman looking to play forward with the Gust. Gonna throw them into these conveyors. And the upheaval gonna pull Mr. Hustler back. Mr. Hustler trying to get away. And in the meanwhile, they're able to take down the Malthael. But now Hucket trying to position forward. Just trying to deal as much DPS as possible. And will be able to take down the false down. Mojo in the middle of everyone. Rain of Vengeance. Silverbell trying to get something with the Sleeping Dart. Won't be able to trade back from Mr. Hustler. And it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Came From Behind as they're pushing down this bot lane wall. Now, no forts have been taken quite yet, so both these two teams can still kind of trade, can still wait in one lane. No one has that passive pressure yet. But level 13 talents now here for Came From Behind. Half a levels to need. Upheaval not going to land onto anyone, but Janalfi looking for the DPS and is going to get taken down to about 1/4 HP. But with the heals, should be okay. Janalfi looking to walk forward. And that will be that for now. So now both teams are going to go take their fortification camps. Just going to make sure that all their camps are taken off the map. And for fancy Flightless Fowl, they were at least able to keep their fort alive. Though they do lose the entire wall for this. And actually Came From Behind. They look like they want to continue pressuring over towards the spot side. Silverbell gonna be able to get there in time. But this top wave also in a bad spot. The wall is gone there too. Batman gonna clear this out. But it is the hammering build, so not getting any stacks for that. And it is going to be the triple poke now. Now they're looking onto Mojo with the Detainment Strike. And the Mosh Pit gets canceled. Or at least not a good position, but the upheaval gonna pull back too. And Mojo's in a bad spot. They're looking to play. And will have so much damage on the Top Gun. And Top Gun barely alive, but is able to go into the back line. Somehow, no one's gone down. Crystal Age is already used. Silverbell in a bad spot as well. And with the protection, not going to be enough. The Gust will keep everyone else away, but it's a 1-for-0 for Came From Behind. And what an insanely close team fight once again. And now they're going to try and take this mid lane forward. It should be theirs. Janelfi and Steph with an F gonna try and secure this siege camp, so at least they can maintain that. That's going to be the first structure taken down as the second control point spawns and the biotic emitter gets claimed by Came From Behind. And I gotta say, right now that name's a bit of a misnomer. They've had the lead this entire series. Batman may also be in a bad spot trying to run away. Will use the barrel roll, but now Mojo will be able to land the power slide and the sleeping dart. Face melt as well. Batman trying to survive. Silver Bella in the backline, but not enough. The upheaval only going to pull Mojo away as the detainment strike is going to pull Gurk Freezer away. But Huggett just trying to DPS and will not be able to succeed. Now the waves do need to be cleared away. And level 16, by the way, for Came From Behind, they have the talent advantage and they are marching top. The second protector will be there. And I don't know how much they're going to send to try and take it. I expect they're just going to send Mr. Hustler there. And the rest of the team is going to go for this topside fort. But it looks like Janelfi and Steph with an F, they want to answer it back. This is 3 heroes pushing due to the mysterious nature of Cho'Gall. Now, Cho'Gall is 2 heroes. And now the topside fort is definitely going to get taken down, but maybe will get traded. And Silverbell is going to have a little bit of a push happening with the bot side. But now they're looking with the laser drill to hit onto this top lane wall. Going for the key. Batman can try to poke them away. But with the healing, with the cannon towers already gone, it's not going to be enough. And 78 stacks now. Able to get quite a bit of extra bonuses here with that Hammerang. And now the Draken laser drill just able to deal so much damage to these structures. As they also start playing towards this next protector. Level 16 still not there for Fancy Flightless Fowl. Just need one more camp. Just need one more anything minion to get it secured. They will be able to get it over on the spot side, and Batman will be holding it. So level 16 now officially there for Fancy Flightless Fowl. They're still down a level worth of stats, but they are even in talents. However, I don't know if they're going to be able to get there in time for the protector. It doesn't seem like they even want to try. They'd rather just clear their waves to make sure it's in a good spot, and then just try and defend the protector afterwards. But without a wall on this top side could be a bit difficult if they choose to go that way. And that does seem to be the angle. But now they're dealing damage to Janelfi. Detainment strike just used to poke Mofo away. And they have a lot of poke going onto this protector already. Now Top Gun gonna get thrown in there as well. So both the DPSs are in the protector for Came From Behind. But they are worried a little bit about moving forward. Now Janelfi looking forward towards Mofo. Will get the pull back with the upheaval. And now Mojo is taking a decent amount of damage over the backside. Will get hit with a detainment strike. And it's just Batman gonna take down Mojo and a pick off for Fancy Flightless Fowl. And they didn't really take any kind of structural damage from the protector because of this. And now they're still walking forward, trying to get some stacks with the hammer, trying to remove this protector. Lose all of the value for it. Only 30 seconds left on it, and I don't even think there's any time for them to get anything out of this. They could look towards this bottom fort if they can get a couple of max range hits, but right now it's going to be difficult to walk forward. We'll be able to push away Stefan with an F, and now Janelfi looking for the backline. Mr. Hustler gonna be hit by it, and they do have the stun. Do they have the damage though? The anti-heal is coming through as well, but we'll just go into stasis to back away. Was a little bit too far forward. Now they will get a little bit of poke damage back onto this fort. And when you're the one defending the objective, getting damage onto the enemy structures is much more important. Now Janelfi 10 seconds until the upheaval is back up as they are stealing away this turret. So that's going to be 2 turrets going over to Fancy Flightless Fowl. Make them a lot stronger, but now they have the gust on Huckett. Huckett in a bad spot. Will throw down the laser drill. And Batman taking so much damage. Gonna get burst down. Will throw down the turret in time. But how much else can they get? They do have the Crystal Age. Silverbell is going to be protected. Will be okay. Janelfi still trying to DPS onto the backline. Silverbell just hitting on a Mojo, but the turret right now is only there for Came From Behind. Now they do have the extra damage going on both sides. Gurkfreaker looking for the plane. Will be able to take down the heal of the backline, but will get traded for it. Moshpit is landed only onto Silverbell. And Mojo is the only one in the front line. Mr. Hustler still looking to play aggressively. Same with Top Gun. They're chasing down Silverbell. But Silverbell trying to just run away. Janelfi doesn't seem like they will be able to help out. Silverbell will go down, and it's a 3-for-1 in favor of Came From Behind. And I say 3 for 1, but I believe that was the no one can stop death coming out for Gurkfreezer. But now Mojo in a bad spot. But now the bad spot is in favor of Jin Alfie. Jin Alfie gonna have to back away. And will be able to clear away some of this. But now the top lane wall is still in a bad spot. Mid lane wall also gonna get poked away by these cannons. And by this hungering arrow from Top Gun. Mojo even gonna walk up just to tank it a little bit. To finish off the top cannon tower. And the siege camp also gonna get stolen. And with these level 20s, they're just trying to take as much as they can while they have this advantage. It's only a half level lead. So, fancy Flightless Fowl will be able to have their final talent soon as well. And I actually don't even know what the level 20 is for Cho'Gall. Mojo walking forward, not able to get any pickoffs. And with this siege camp, they will get a little bit of extra poke, but the upheaval is going to pull Mr. Hustler into the backline, and they will be able to burst down this Ana. Gurkfreezer looking for the play as well. The turrets are thrown down. Same with the Kraken laser drill. But ultimately, it's just going to be the 1 for nothing. The laser drill is going to get finished off here too. And level 20s are finally here for Fancy Flightless Fowl. So what is level 20 going to be for Jin Alfie? And I know there's 2, but I can only see Cho's abilities. I will eventually research Cho'Gall's abilities, but considering this is the first series I've ever seen him played, and last season in NGS, it was never played. Definitely changes things. But now Jin Alfie looking towards Mojo. They're looking to contest onto the siege camp, but they're not going to be able to. Jin Alfie in a bad spot. But now they're going to have the mosh pit, and all 4 members are in it. And now Steph with an F going to get burst down. Jin Alfie surviving at 70 HP, and with the wind wall, Batman able to throw down the healing, but just a little bit too late. Batman getting chased down by Silverbell. One more dash. But the Raid of Vengeance will be able to trade it back 1 for 1. It's a 3 for 2 in favor of Came From Behind. And now they're going to be able to start their push. Jin Alfie is still alive. And this Cho'Gall can be quite powerful. They're able to get the pullback. But now the upheaval will also root for 2 seconds. Okay, so that's going to be that level 20 pull. And that's actually really powerful. If they're able to get the right targets, I think Jin Alfie on their own can take down this backline with the right angle. Now the upheaval does get thrown out, but it's just going to be the main tank, and Mojo will get taken down anyway. Cho'Gall damage is too good, but there's still too many heroes left alive defending. Huckett, Gurkfreezer, both with percent HP. It's going to be too difficult, and this topside keep will get finished off by Came From Behind. And now they're still positioning backwards now, looking for any camp, but no camps are going to be spawning soon. They have this mid lane taken. The fortification camps are both spawned in the bot side, but all 5 members are now up for triple F. So they're just going to take their own fortification camp, wait for their tank to respawn, and then they'll regroup and push again. Now this next protector, the C control point, is now up and available if either of these 2 teams want to fight for it. Now Steph with an F going to finish off the fortification camp and going to grab it for themselves. But now Jin Alfie and Silverbell looking to play a little bit forward now. Only a little bit of health left on this fort, and they should be able to just finish it off. Just walks in, smacks it. And in fact, this bot lane is going to be in favor of Fancy Flightless Fowl because their fort has not been taken here yet. They are still going to be getting pushed in the mid lane and the top lane. But that's the only lane. Now Batman going to try and finish off the siege camp. And that'll help with their push over on the top side. It will not passively push as the siege camp's definitely going to be stronger than the wave. But Batman going to clear it out anyway. All 5 members have Came From Behind grouping towards mid lane as all 4 members are waiting on this protector. But will they walk in? And that's kind of the question. They don't have to, but they definitely are looking for it. And this is going to be the big fight. This could decide it all. Mojo looking to go in, and the upheaval is going to land, but with all of the conveyor belts, they're able to still get away. But now the wind wall is separating the fight. Mr. Hustler in a bad spot, but will be able to get away just in time. Batman trying to throw out the battering. And now the mosh pit forcing everyone to dance. Stefan with the nest will be able to survive just for a little bit longer, but will get finished off. It's a 1 for 1 so far. Silverbell is protected, looking for the play, and will get slapped with a dart. And that mosh pit able to deal so much damage over in the backline. It's still defensible. They could still fight. The next upheaval is going to be back up in just 6 seconds if they want it. But now Huckett will be able to walk up. They will finish off this fort. So now they are tied in objectives here. Both the Mouthy over on the top side. It is technically 3 3 versus 3 in this bot side if they're able to scout it out. But instead, they're just going to walk away for a little bit. They're going to fix their waves, collect whatever soak they can get. Right now, it's not going to give them any more talents, obviously, but it could give that extra little bit of just the raw stats that they need to win the fight. But now the Bionic Emitter is going to be back up. Janalfi going to have full control over that. And I actually don't know how that works for Cho'Gall. Are they able to... Who gets to put it down? I assume it would be the Cho, not the Gall. We'll have to wait and see. But now Gurk Freezer is alone on this top side. Could get jumped upon, but won't be able to. The upheaval not going to land. So they are going to clear away the siege camp. But they are pushing with the Protector over this bot side. The control point has been finished. And now they're looking for this play. There's no one here to defend, but there is a fight happening top side. Gurk Freezer just trying to cancel their reset, but also may have gone a little bit too far. They're going to look for Gurk Freezer. Just need a little bit more damage, and they will be able to finish off. But in the meanwhile, the Protector already onto the keep. And now they're hitting onto it. They will get the final hit, and the bot keep will also go down. And with that's all they're going to get for now. They could look towards mid, but it is 4v5. Would definitely be difficult. They had the pace in the bot side, and their Malthael did go down, but I think that was a worthy trade. Because of that, they get a free keep. There's nothing on the map for Triple F to take. But Janalfi looking for the play. Going to get the pullback, but not enough. Not going to be able to land it onto Huckett or Mr. Hustler. Able to sidestep it. And the upheaval. I've never realized just how powerful Cho'Gall can be. Huckett's going to get taken down to half HP, but same with Janalfi. They have the extra stun, but Mr. Hustler keeping everyone very healthy and alive. Silverbell looking for the backside, and Batman has a good angle if they're able to get the wind wall in the correct side. They could look to play, and now they do have the wind wall, but it's just going to pull back Mr. Hustler. The Bionic Emitter in the meanwhile is getting hit, and Huckett in a bad spot just needs a little bit more damage, and they will be able to take it down. The Draken Laser Drill is here, but they should be able to just clear it away really fast. And that is going to be an extra pickoff. So just as the Malthael spawns, they do lose Huckett, and Silverbell going to get the reset canceled as the Protector gets taken down. Now Batman going to reset. Someone needs to deal with this siege camp, and these 3 cannons already down to 80%, 76, 72, and 68. That's a good 1/3 of the core health bar gone from that play. And the unfortunate thing is they get the pick on Triple F, but they cannot push for it afterwards. But now came from behind. They're just slowly but surely winning with this macro play. They're going to group up towards mid lane. But now Janalfi looking for the upheaval, not going to be able to land it. But it is a pretty short cooldown, only 34 seconds. So kind of able to just fish with it. And if they're able to land it, they've shown that whoever they hit it on, they can burst down as long as they have 2 or 3 members there. But now this fall stat is also really scaling. 117 stacks on Gathering Storm. This is a very strong fall stat. Now the Bionic Emitter is up. Janalfi looking for the play. Mojo in the backline is trying to get the mosh pit off, but Steph with the death will be safe because of the wind wall. But now Mojo in a bad spot, and with the hammer dealing so much damage. They have the stun, and the upheaval is going to pull their healer back. They're going to finish off the tank, but now they're going to have that secondary mosh pit, and Huckett just trying to deal damage in the backline, and Janalfi gets burst almost. No, will get burst in the backline. Now it's just Huckett and Top Gun staying alive, but Batman getting hit by the turret, getting hit by the laser drill, and also getting hit by Huckett. And that's going to be a 3-for-2. Only the Cho'Gall goes down, but it's still a slight win for Fancy Flightless Fowl. And this game, this series, both games just going so late. It came from behind, always able to win early, but once those mid to late game team fights happened, Fancy Flightless Fowl able to mechanically outplay, but came from behind with their macro, are able to hold on to these leads. Now everyone is up right now or it is 3 versus 3, but there's just nothing that Fancy Flightless Fowl can really try and take. They are a little bit apprehensive to walk forward without Janalfi. And with this, the mid wave is going to start getting pushed in. Doesn't seem like any of the camps are going to be spawning, so all 10 members will be back up shortly. And the control point will be spawning over in this mid lane. And 5 members of came from behind just all grouping together. They know that all their waves are gonna be pushing it naturally. They don't need to split apart. This late in the game, it doesn't really matter whoever gets the extra levels. So they're just playing it smart. They want to make sure they don't get picked off. But if there's a big upheaval, Janalfi could just win the fight then and there. But now the fortification camp is up. They were looking to position aggressively into it, but no one was there to get picked off. But now they're walking forward. The camp has been started by both sides, starting on their own fortification camp at the control point, currently being held by Mojo. And now the contest is going to be coming through. All 10 members are going to be here. The slower this is, the upheaval gonna pull back Mojo, and they have the root. They will be able to get the stomp as well. The shout, but a Gurk Freezer in the backline trying to deal damage to Janalfi. And they're going to be able to burst down Silverbell, and now they're just constantly chasing forward. So much damage onto Gurk Freezer, and with the wind wall into the wall. Do they have the DPS to follow this up? They're looking towards it, but Mojo is so tanky, and the mosh pit onto every living member. The Crystal Aegis is there. Janalfi is trying to fight back. Mojo will get traded back, but it's still 4 versus 2 left, and Janalfi will go down, and that'll be it. That'll be everything. Came from behind, getting their first win of the season, and it's going to be a domination. And they're just going to walk up. They're going to take down this keep. And I do need to double check, but I believe, let me just check my stats here. I can't even find them. Came from behind. They did have the 1 point. So they have won a map before, but now they're going to triple that number. And they're going to be sitting at 5 whole points. Massive victory for them. I mean, both teams played pretty well the early game, though. Always in favor of came from behind. Which, again, is pretty ironic considering their name. They say they came from behind, but in the end, they're able to keep the lead at the start, and they're able to hold on to it. I mean, fancy Flightless Fowl, they definitely try to get it back in their favor, and they were so close so many times, both in Game 1 and Game 2. 2 very long games. But with that, this game is over. I'm going to see if we could possibly get an interview. But either way, this isn't the end of NGS action today. There will be another game later on. Let me just quickly get set up in case someone does join. Oh. Hello, Huckett. Give me 1 moment.
Okay.
Okay, hello?
Hi.
Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure. Discord gets weird sometimes. But yeah, I'm joined by Huckett, and congratulations on your 2-0. And I believe this is your first win of the season as well. So huge congratulations.
Yep. First match win. We did win a game earlier.
Yeah, sorry.
But,
first match.
This feels good. This feels good. The team is back.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'm sure you expected a question about this, and I know you weren't the ones that picked it, but what did you think of the Cho'Gall?
Yeah, we were very surprised. When I saw the Leo ban, I was just thinking back to the game before, and I banned Samuro like an idiot. I did not expect the Cho'Gall, but we still had 2 picks left, so it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah, and I noticed you picked Malthael, Tychus, and you already had the Vala in the draft. So you had a lot of % health damage. I assume that was just to deal with the Cho'Gall, or did you pick Malthael and Tychus for other reasons?
Oh no, the Malthael and Tychus was for Cho'Gall, gives us a chance. And I went the bigger they are, so I could get him down, but someone else had to finish him. People kept skating away with 3 health.
Yeah, and have you had any practice against the Cho'Gall in the past? Or was this just something completely out of the blue?
We've been playing together for years, but Cho'Gall's pretty rare still. So, no, not lately. And we usually lose to it.
Okay, well, the next question then. Your team name is Came From Behind, but I don't think there were any moments you were behind in this series at all. You started out strong and then were able to just hold out via macro play. Is this something you're trying to keep as the identity for your team? Or is it just this specific series that worked out that way, but you have different strategies depending on opponents?
Yeah, that's a good question. We usually run in the middle and die a few times and get behind. And then another thing, you just have to look at the time frame. We weren't behind in these games, but we were 1-4 coming into this. So now the season is coming from behind.
Oh, interesting. I did not think to look at it that way.
Yeah, week to week.
Yeah, should try losing a bit more right before playoffs too, and then just win it all, right?
Yeah, well, last season we went in as the 1 seed and then got smoked by the 8. So we're going to try to do something different this time.
Yeah, the way it goes sometimes. Now, what did you think of Fancy Flightless Fowl as your opponents?
Well, they did some good things. The first game, the biggest problem I think they had is when they picked Leo, and then we have a guy who loves to counter Leo with Sam. So he was just getting hurt all game, and I think that's what gave us the edge there because they could never hold top and send someone bottom. And then the second game, we already talked about the Ariel Cho'Gall. That it's tough to come through from that. She had 50,000 more healing than the Ana. Looking at the stats.
Yeah, no, that's a massive difference. 132,281.
Yeah, that was tricky. But yeah, they played really well, and hope to see them again.
Yeah, maybe you will later on in the playoffs. I believe Division A is just single game, so it would have to be the playoffs if you are going to be able to see them later on.
We're both going to have to do some winning to get there.
Oh, I'm sure you will. You look pretty good today, and I mean, if they're willing to do Cho'Gall, clearly they're willing to try different things, whatever gets them the win. That's how I look at it.
When I scouted them, they had a guy named Angry Panda who plays Cho, but I didn't see these players playing Cho'Gall at all, so did not expect it at all.
Well, they brought it out, and they almost got you, but in the end, you managed to prevail, and that's what really matters at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for casting.
Yeah. And
can't wait to watch.
Thanks for coming for the interview.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay, and with that, we are done for NGS for now. We're going to go to a short sponsored segment, and then afterwards, if you are not interested in watching that, in about 30 minutes, we're going to be starting with more NGS. We're going to have Div B West, Roll 1 Esports versus, I turned my calendar off for no reason, versus Bunker Fun Time. So that's going to be the next game to come through. But now, gonna turn on Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Now, obviously, you've seen the widget. You know this is the current sponsor for today's stream. So let me just get set up, and we'll get right into it. Alrighty, and we should be good here. Let me just check how this looks. Boom. There we go. I should get some music. It's a bit quiet. So yeah, this is Tiki Solitaire 3peaks, the current sponsor of today's stream. I'm going to throw the link in chat if any of you want to play along. Oh wow, this color makes me look... Oh no, not quite as blue. It's just the loading end phase. But yeah, regardless, I'm already decently far into the game. I'm on level 89. And I'll show you a couple of the features this game has. For example, the free coins thing. Every 20-ish minutes, you can collect up to 1,000 coins. And I'm at 1,200 just because of how far our club has gone. And I will also be trying to get thumbs up because every time someone wins 1 million, you get thumb someone up, thumb 5 people up, and you get your own roll. You also get 3 free rolls daily. I should mention the last part of today's sponsored segment. We will be giving away the 2 gifted subs that we earned in the previous campaign. So huge thank you to everyone that participated in that. Huge thank you to everyone that hit the goals. And if you want to help this time, reach level 75, purchase a $20 pack or more, and you can gift some extra subs from the campaign as well. Now, let me ask money from my friends, and this is what the game really teaches you to do, how to ask your friends for money. I only have 2 friends for now, but if any of you want to join into the game, got my friend ID up here, and I believe I've also set it to Tokibi. You can find me that way. And if you hit level 20, can join my club. Alright, but let me see how we're doing. We have the totem slow of the volcano, but it doesn't look too good right now, but this is actually okay. The volcano is not going to explode, so I'm just going to play some regular levels for now. We're going to hit level 90. I'm starting to run a little bit low on coins, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so for those of you that have never played 3peaks Solitaire, the way it works is pretty simple. You have your base card here, it's a 4, and you can take down another card that's 1 value higher or 1 value lower. So if it's a 4, I can hit it with a 3, and then when there's nothing else you can hit, you just pull from your deck. And then you keep pulling until you either clear this whole thing, in which case you win. If you can't clear it, you lose. Very simple game, very easy to get into. And we are seeing the 2 gifted subs come out right now. Thank you very much from Stream Elements, giving those 2 gifted subs. So huge shout out to them. And once again, thanks everyone who participated in our campaign. But now, looking to see what to go next, because I could go for this 9, but this 9 will give something extra, and it's going to clear away every red card. So it's good going for those special cards sometimes. It is random what the bonus is, because this one is a wild card, so I can use it in place of anything else. I don't think it's worth using quite yet. It's going to shake, but I don't think it's worth it. And now I can't, because I can do 6, 7. My typical rule is if I can get at least 2 from it, it's worth it. Okay, then we can go ace to ace. Or yeah, I'm gonna pull the 9s because there's a lot of cards that are getting stuck there, so I need to clear those away. Okay, so how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do queen, jack, so we cleared away a good chunk there. 9, 8, 9. And now we're just gonna be watching and hoping for RNG to help us. But this isn't meant to be a chill game, and RNG, it's solitaire. It's the way it goes. I'm not going to ask for more cards. My typical rule is I ask for more cards if I either have something big at stake, because sometimes events, they do give you pretty big bonuses if you're able to maintain a streak. I had one earlier today, but it's already expired. So now I need to win 18,000 coins and collect more gold rings. And gold rings are just passively collected while you play. I believe mostly new levels. Alright, so we got the 9. Go 8, 7, or 10 jack. I think I'm going to go 8, 7. Just to help lower these big stacks instead. Ace, king, queen, jack, 10. Do you have a wild card? I don't want to use it quite yet. I don't think it's a good time for the wild card yet. On the 4. So many duplicate numbers. And it's always a question whether or not to use it early or late. Because if you use it at the right time, you can clear a pretty good chunk of the cards. But sometimes you can just hold it as one of your final cards and you can just win. Because I could ignore whatever's under here. Jack, 10, jack. And someone's completed level 1 in Tiki Solitaire. Decided to stay anonymous, but thank you very much for downloading the game and giving it a shot. Now we're gonna hit this one. Oh, that's annoying. So it was red cards, but I didn't have any red cards available. Okay, I'm gonna use my wild card because these are all in a line. So I can go 7, 6, 5. I was hoping for one of them to be a 4. But it's still okay. Flower Blossom. Okay, that gives 3 extra cards in the back line. Technically 2 if you include the fact that that card itself isn't gonna be counting, but... Okay, got the king. We just need a 6 or an 8. Come on. 6 or an 8. Hey. Level 89 done. I am gonna try and go for this goal. Level 90, if you're paying attention to the widget, is one of the goals. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna appear because I am using an emulator. Oh, unlucky. So it's funny because I got the 2 big treasures. I got the wild and the 2,000 coins. That's which are the 2 biggest prizes you can get there. Wild cards, really good. Wild cards and volcanoes. Now, I haven't really talked too much about either of these, but this is just a wild card you can get from here. You've already seen what wild cards can do. Volcanoes do the same thing, except instead of being a fill card, it just clears away 5 cards on the board randomly, and whatever is the 5th card is going to be the new card over in this slot. Okay, now I'm going to take down this king. Not too much else I can do. I think I'm going to go with the 7 because I can start clearing away this side. Maybe getting a little bit of extra space. 8-3. I'll throw it for the 2. Okay, now I can open these. Not too much. There's so many ropes. I may use this if I don't win this time around. And you do get some boosters up here. One of them gives 30 seconds to the Speed Star. I've given up on the Speed Star for right now, as I am just kind of trying to show off the features of this game. Show off what you can do while you play. And then this just gives double the streak points. So it's easier to get the Streak Star. And whenever you finish a level, the more stars you have, the more coins you get back, the more club points you get. So your team will thank you for it as well. And we're able to take down 2 of these, but it's just killing the ropes for now. I'm just stacking onto these ropes. That's all I can really do right now. 8. Okay, we got a 9. I'm just going to keep clearing ropes, because I think after that you can get pretty nutty combos. Oh, we're going to continue. Okay, every rope is now cleared. I have not cleared a single one of these, though. Okay, we got the 2. Okay, 9. So I'm going to go 10, 9, 8, 7. Now, okay, so I'm going to take the 6 for sure. And so I could take this 5 and 4. That'll clear 1 card. Or I can hit this 7, which will bring up my previous card. And that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll get this 8. Oh, I was going to go back to the 7, but I can go 9, 10 instead. So it's going to be a 1 extra card. I will say this run is still looking pretty doomed. But we gave it an honest go. 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. Just gonna try and clear more away. Got the 4. Got the queen. King. Throw it at that. Not too much else I can do there. Yeah, this one's pretty doomed. I'm not gonna bother buying more cards. I still had 9 cards left to get. And with some of them having ropes as well, just not realistic. But part of this game is always just going to be that RNG factor, whether you're able to get it or not. Now we're just going to try again, and I still have 4 challenges for my dailies. Oh, and I get a volcano on this one. Volcanoes are huge. That's mainly what I try and go for. Okay, now I'll show you how these boosters work. So I got 10 of these. We're just going to go ahead and burn the traps. And that makes this level a lot easier. Now, it depends on if you like doing this kind of thing or not. The way I look at it is it's a casual game. So sometimes if you're stuck on a level and you're just starting to get upset, it's better to just clear it away. Now, I normally don't use it too much, but it's still fun to go with it. And level 5 also completed by Anonymous. Huge shout out. Keep pushing forward. Once you hit that level 20, search up Toki's Bees for your team. We've all been pretty active. We have a couple members from previous streams that have joined, and we have a couple randos that just found us through the search bar or through the automatic search generator. But we take it. We allow all teammates to join. Now, how do I want to do this? Do I want to go for the... I think I want to clear away the 9s instead of the jack. I think that'll matter more. Oh, we got the black clear. Okay, that's huge. And the trap torch as well. Jack cannot help here. But I can't get the 7. Then the 8. I want anything between king and 2 right now. Oh, I can clear that. I almost missed that, actually. I'm so focused on this side. Okay. Now we can go ace, king, 2. I'm going to buy more cards to start. Okay, we got the 6. Now I need ace or queen. There we go. See, sometimes you just feel it. You just got to feel it out and you will get the win. So that's massive level 90 completed for me. Okay. Now with that, let's take that free spin. All right, what are we going to get? I want the volcano. The volcano is definitely my favorite one. That free card's not bad. Because every time you play a level, you do got to give a little bit for it. But that's or a little bit of coins. So we get 1 free attempt. Now, I'm not going to spin the amazing wheel this time. So let's just continue playing on. And we're going to unlock the new area. We finished Turtle Cove. Time to go to the Big Barrier Reef. And different maps typically have different mechanics. Not always, and sometimes you will see a return to some old limits, as we've now unlocked bonus or expert mode. I don't think I'll do expert mode quite yet. I don't think I'm super confident with it. But we will have to wait and see. So this is the new mechanic. If it's an 8, it'll clear it away. I'm not sure I understand, but we're going to figure this out. It's usually pretty simple once you see it in action. Oh, I'm wondering if it doesn't give me a choice. It just will pull it automatically. Oh. Oh, it'll periodically steal my cards. I understand. So I need to clear this fast. 9, 10. Okay, now that's going to be cleared and we are safe. We're going to have the 9 back here. I might have gone for the jack instead. That might have been better. We'll see. But now we're going to take the king. And that's just because there's 2 kings. Whenever there's doubles, I try to get rid of them. It's less likely to get 2 of the same in the same region, if that makes sense. I don't think it actually matters statistically, but that's just how I choose to play. Not getting super lucky, not getting huge moves, but we are going to get 7, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, now we're getting huge moves. 4. Do I want the 5 or the 3? I think I'll take the 3 because that unlocks a new card. We'll go 4, and then I'll take the 5. There we go. That's the play I was looking for. Okay. Okay, so let's do Jack, Queen. I was hoping that would be a king. If one of these was a king, that'd be just absolutely fantastic. 6, 7, 6, 5, Jack, 2, ace. So just a 10 and a 6 left over. Got the 9. I'm going to buy some more cards. If I can get one of these, I'll use my wild card. Although I could also just get lucky. Nope. Okay, we're using the wild card. I just want to finish the level. Honestly, I'm the kind of person that as soon as I get it, I use it. Not everyone likes playing that way, but the beauty of games like this is to each their own, you know? I'm going to see how much further I can get into this. At level 92, going to be the next thing. Alright, so I need to clear the 7 ASAP. 8, boom. Okay, it's gone. We're safe. Let's do 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. No ace, no queen. Okay. Howdy, howdy, Saddlebear. How you doing today? We're just doing a little bit of that sponsored, sweet sponsored content before the next series of NGS. I'll do about 10 more minutes of this, then gonna get a short break just to prep. And then we'll get started. Okay, we're gonna take the 10 again. Okay, king. Ace. I could combo back, but I don't think there's a point because I can take a 2, and then a 3, and then a 2. I think that's definitely better. We'll get the 8, Gonna go 7-6. King, queen, king. So only 2 cards left. Excuse that. That's just the home phone. But we got the win. Okay. I think it's the first one we got without too many extra pulls, too much extra stuff. Oh, and I have 50 pause. So there's another long-term event going on right now. I'm not sure how many days are left, but you get to help these llamas. And I have multiple. I think I have 3 llamas at this point. Yeah, we have Larry, or... Sorry, I instinctively try to scroll out. This is an emulator, so I cannot scroll out. We have Pacha and Lucy. We have 3 more. And then as we slowly help out, it's time to make Mama look a little bit better. She has not been sheared in a while. And as you continue forward, you get more and more rewards. So, and yeah, we just got our 4th llama. I think I'm just going to give it a random name. Boom, Daniela. Perfect. I'm very creative, as you can see. Ooh. So we get a little bit of a multiplier for a couple minutes. And that's perfect. Let's play it out. Level 93. Let's send it. See what other new mechanics we can learn, we can reach. Okay, we're going to... Not too much to start with. Just going to be the 2. 8. Going to go 9. I could go 8-7, but I think I'm going to go 10, Jack, Queen. And that works out perfectly. And then Jack, Queen again. That actually cleared away quite a bit, and I got the extra streak bonus. And every time you reach these, you get coins, whether or not you win or lose the level. So you actually don't lose coins quite as fast as it may originally seem. This game is pretty generous at giving them back just through regular play. 7, 8. 7. Is that a 9? That's a 9. I will take that instead. And then we got the Jack. Oh, we got the star for the streak. Okay, maybe I should rush and try and get the triple star here. 3. We also need the deck to cooperate, please. 8, 6, 5. King, 5. 9, 10, Jack. Could have gone that again. 9. Okay, come on. 4, 3. Give me a 5 or a 7. 5 or a 7. 5 or a 7. More cards. Come on, I got 7 seconds. This game's awful. I shouldn't say that considering they're sponsoring that. You know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Let's just keep going. I already lost the speed star. I wanted to get all 3 stars. Okay, well, we got it in the end, and that's what really matters. Okay, we got 2. That's still going to be a decent chunk back. So 6k coins just for that win. 153 club points. Slowly but surely, we are getting more rewards. And I guess I'll play up to level 95, and then I'll show you a little bit about the club. They probably should have done that. Oh yeah, and as you go, every now and then you'll hit Poi's treasure. This is Poi. I think it's a dog, could be a chihuahua, could be a rabbit. We have no real way of telling. Then you keep flipping until you reach the skull card, and anything you flip, you get to keep. And sometimes if you're really good at the game, oh, I was going to say you get every single one. Okay, only thing I lose the 500 coins though, so this should be a pretty big windfall back. All right, let's get level 94 done. Oh, this one actually looks pretty rough. So these are going to help clear out quite a bit. So I'm just going to use these right off the bat because it's going to have more value at the very start. That's exactly what it did. So I took away all my cards. I'm playing. Wait, this is a 3 now. 6, 5. Boom. Okay, we cleared both those away. We're good. Everything's fine. Oh. No, it isn't. I'm bad at the game. But I got it back. 7, 8, 9. Give me a 10. No. 2. I think I'll take away the 3 because that one, whenever they're the blue color, that means they give bonus coins whenever you kill them. Or I guess we're not really killing these things, but you know what I mean. Whenever you take that card. Okay, 10 or queen. Oh, perfect. And it played right back into itself. And that's what we like to see. I'll play one more level. Gotta beat the 95. And as you can see, it's pretty fast to go through these levels. But I believe that the... let me just double check again. But the goals for this go all the way from level 1 to level 200. But if you play this actively, if it's something you enjoy doing, you can clear these levels super fast. Like I always say, they're very generous with the coins. My free coins have respawned once again. It's 1,200. And we should get more soon. I believe we're raising that in the club. We'll take a look once we get there. I'm clearing that 10 immediately. And then I'll go for the jack instead. Ace, king, ace, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not a bad combo. We got the first streak part. 4, 10, 9. I could go 10 jack, but there's nothing really under there. So I'm going to go 8, 7, 6. Okay, yeah, this was definitely the right move. Sometimes the luck just favors you, you know, and you got to go with it. Jack, I'm going to go with the queen actually instead of the 10. Like I said, I'm just trying to get as many of these cards flipped as soon as possible. 8, 3, 2, ace. Gonna clear the king. Not able to get anything back out, but we do get that. So anything 2 through 5 is good right now. 4, 3, 2. I'm just going to use my volcano to finish this off. So the volcano can hit up to 5, but I think it's really good to finish off levels otherwise. But all right, we got it going. And let me just walk you through a little bit about the club. Or actually, sorry, the llamas, they need me. After we deal with the llamas, we'll go to the club. I still got a bit of time. But yeah, let's add some flowers. I think I like these bright ones. They look more folly, even though it's spring. That's fine. No, they're llamas. They don't know. And we get club point doublers. So two games, the amount of points I get for the club will double. Let me show you what you can get through the club, okay? So first of all, we have some competitions going on right now with the race. I don't know if my team's even been playing. I believe we were in the lead this morning, and we're still in the lead. Just barely. Oh, it only has my stuff from this morning. But okay, we take that. Day 2, and we're still up ahead. But the main thing for the club is these perks, and that's why you want to join ASAP. We've already finished the first 2. So every day you get free login. You get the free play. You get 25% more coins. Then every time you get the free coin collect, it's 10 extra %. So now next thing is going to be this level 3. We have 9 people now. I guess a lot of people are joining this club. And we're going to have the 50% coins, all of this stuff daily. And the more people join, the more of these stuff we can get. And the faster we'll be able to progress. So definitely be sure to join up. And then the other part is there is totems. And let me show you. So there's a totem over on level 66. And what these totems do is there's a volcano thing. I'll show you again. I forgot to actually talk about it, but oh well. We'll get back into it. I'm good at my job, I swear. Black. Does this clear the card? No, it just kills that thing. Ace, king, queen, jack. Not bad. 10, jack. 4, 5, 6. And I'm just gonna rush because I am staying a bit too long. I need to start prepping for the next game of NGS. That's why we're all here, isn't it? 2 ace, 2 ace. Not bad so far, but I'm definitely not gonna be able to end this. Jack, queen. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna be able to get too much. But essentially, every now and then you'll get a totem card, and that will lower this volcano. Once that erupts, while it's at the top, you do not get any of the extra bonuses. But it doesn't erupt and you lose it forever. It's just while it's at the top. So if anyone goes back, grabs a few of those totems, we'll be back to normal and back to where we need to be as soon as we can. But with that, that's going to be the end of today's sponsored segment. We will be having more throughout the week, typically in between these double headers, just as some filler content. I'm going to go to a short break, get prepped for Series 2 of the NGS in Div B West. So hope you stick around, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
I saw it when I walked, boy.
and welcome to the second series of the evening. We're going to the B West division between Bunker Funtime and Roll One Esports. Now, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup, and when you look at the standings, you'll see why. They are 1 point away, and this is the second and third team from B West. Whoever wins this is going to be able to take at least the second place, and if Roll One Esports win a domination, they're going to catapult themselves to first. And I believe Bunker Funtime, Bork Side of the Moon, I don't know the tiebreakers, but they could also start pushing for those fully upper tiers here. Now, the map pick and ban has already happened. So now Bunker Funtime did decide for first pick. So the map picks and bans are going to be Brax's Holdout and Alterac Pass from Roll One Esports. Then Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow for Bunker Funtime. And then the final map is going to be Infernal Shrines picked by Roll One Esports. Now, this is a pretty interesting map with the Infernal Shrines. Obviously, Dahaka good on every map, but this is the Hogger specialty map. So I'm really hoping to see a Hogger picked or banned. You never know. We're going to have to see as we get further on into the game, as we get into this draft. And we should be getting started soon. Lobby's already been made, just waiting on a couple more players. Sorry, one moment. And I'm really excited to see just how close these two teams are going to be. They are neck and neck in the standings. And I'm actually going to take a moment to just kind of walk through their previous results. So now Roll One Esports. I'm gonna look from their perspective first. They've played against Mag 1-2-0, played against SWS 1-2-0, and lost to CM 2-1. So their only loss, they still were able to win at least one map, and that was against Clouded Minds. Clouded Minds is in fourth place, actually tied with Bunker Funtime in terms of points now. Now Bunker Funtime, with their results going back, they lost to Bork Side of the Moon, which is currently 11 points up in first place. Only lost one map so far, I believe. And then 1-2-1 against SWS, but did get the domination against Clouded Minds. So someone who was able to take them down, who was able to take down Roll One Esports, lost to Bunker Funtime. I do believe the top few positions are pretty close right now in this Div B West. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we're going. And now they are waiting on one player updating their game, which is pretty interesting to say. We should have an update coming out soon. And then after that, I believe we'll be in a pretty good spot. I'm just excited for the Dahaka nerfs. That's like my main thing that I'm just waiting for. I want to see Oriole nerfed slightly. I love that Oriole is played. Don't get me wrong. And this is a hero I want to keep in the meta. Just maybe a bit less meta, you know? Oriole right now, especially once it hits more into the late game, more and more stacks, the healing just becomes insane. It is so difficult to out DPS it. If you're not able to jump onto the Oriole, you're not going to be able to win the fights. And even if you do, Crystal Age just popped and they're fine and dandy. The team can play around you for a little while. Okay, we're waiting on one last player now. 9 players have been joined. I don't know. This is a pretty exciting game for me. I want to see who's going to be able to come out on top, because right now there's really only 4 teams goes over to that top side. In fact, we can go back to the standings page. That is kind of what I'm looking at right now. And it is Clouded Minds, Bunker Funtime, Roll One Esports, Bork Side of the Moon. Magnitude Aftershock, Surely We Scale, and Macro Machines are a bit further behind, especially Macro Machines right now, currently sitting at only 1 point. But other than that, this division is still pretty open. It's still early days. Even Macro Machines could come back, though obviously it'll take a bit more for them, as they need a domination just to tie for 5th at the moment. And I believe the rules are for B West, top 4 or 6 teams make it. I need to double check, because that obviously is going to change a lot, whether you need to just make it into not last place, or whether you need to really start competing over into those higher positions. Now 10th player joined. Hopefully we can get started soon. We made the lobby pretty quickly, but the players taking a little bit of extra time to get in, but that's okay. We're not in a rush. At least for me. I don't know about any of you, but I'm on West Coast. It's still quite early for me. Still a lot of time for a decent amount of HOTS to be played, and that's what I'm really looking forward to here. Now, we saw an interesting series. Now, if any of you are just joining us for this Div B West game, we just had a series with a Cho'Gall. And it was a really fun game to watch. This was my first time casting a Cho'Gall. I believe in the last split, Cho'Gall was not picked at all. And the Cho'Gall actually performed really well. They weren't able to win the game in the end, but it was not because of the Cho'Gall. And it was really interesting as well because it was into a Malthael and a Tychus. They had to pick the Cho'Gall before the last two picks, which really changed the draft. It was a ton of fun to watch. So when I post this VOD, or even now, you could look back through this stream. I highly recommend it. It was game 2, super entertaining to watch. But now, while we're waiting on them to join in, I'll give one quick shout out to the sponsor of today's stream, Tiki Solitaire 3peaks. Any of you who were here during the sponsor segment obviously already know what that is, but it is a pretty relaxing 3peaks solitaire game. And as you go through the levels, more and more simple mechanics are added just to keep things from getting dull. Join a club, help each other out, and see how far you can get into the game. Download for free today using the link in the chat or from the panel down below. And even beating the first tutorial level helps me out a lot as a creator. Takes 2 minutes, and I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, still waiting on teams to be ready. I'm actually going to ask them what's going on because we've had everyone in the lobby for the first couple minutes. Okay. I'm just going to make them start doing the ready check. I want to get started. I don't like sitting in lobbies. I don't know why. So who are we waiting? All right. Okay. Everyone seems to be ready. We should be heading into game number 1 shortly. So this is going to be it to see who's going to be the number 2 and possibly number 1 between Bunker Funtime and Roll 1 Esports. All right, and we are into draft. Infernal Shrines going to be the map. And like I always say, this is a pretty interesting map. This is one of the few objectives that doesn't really damage the structures. It damages the heroes. That's its primary purpose. And it's your job to damage the objectives off of that pressure. But it also takes a while to finish it off. You need to kill 40 skeletons. And heroes like Chromie are very powerful here. Hogger obviously depends on who plays what. Different teams will have their own internal metas, their own internal preferences. And also stylistically changes a lot. So it's easily my favorite part of HOTS that individual preference matters so much at all levels. But now Diablo going to be the first ban for Bunker Funtime, as they are the ones with first pick this time around. It's going to be interesting to see what they decide to go for here. Offlane obviously pretty important on this map. Hogger is super strong. Same with Dahaka. Could do a handshake for it, or they could just play something completely different. We're just going to have to wait and see. Depends on what these two teams enjoy. Second ban going to be coming through here. And it is the Maiev. Now Maiev, obviously a big playmaker, so trying to remove that from Bunker Funtime. Definitely going to slow down a little bit of the engage. And it's the ease of execution for Maiev, if you know how to play the hero anyway. It's actually pretty decently simple because you just need to create distance, you pull them in, and your team could even try playing in ways that force them to step out of bounds or punish them for trying to stay within bounds of the Umbral Bind. But now Anubrak going to be the second ban. 2 tanks. I believe they are targeting Zad for this. I believe that is the tank for Roll 1 Esports, if I'm not misremembering. Ukulele, I will hydrate with my tea. I noticed that a lot of people do take the hydrate stuff, but it's never when my cam's on. But I do have my cam on more often, so feel free to take it a bit more liberally. And the final ban going to be coming through right now for Roll 1 Esports, and it's going to be the Vala. Trying to get rid of that pretty, I'm trying to remember the word, but it's a DPS. You can kind of play it however you want. Sorry, my mind is a little bit tired. It is my second series of the day. But once we get in game, I promise you, I will be on point. But Vala, very flexible. That's the word I was thinking of. And Stukov locked in for Dicello, and the Dahaka for Zad, and Sylvanas for Jason. So I was wrong. Zad is not the tank. That's my bad on that. But the Dahaka is going to be picked up. Obviously, very powerful hero. Very good on Infernal Shrines. Infernal Shrines is a massive map. So being able to get the extra push is going to go a long way. And now Varian and Tychus is going to get locked in for Zednim and Plant Fox. Tychus obviously very powerful here. And then the Stukov Varian combo. So having some kind of cleanse would be very beneficial for Roll 1 Esports. I'm wondering if Bunker Funtime will try to ban away the Anduin. I do think that is the easiest answer for the Varian Stukov combo, because you can just pull away whoever is getting jumped upon. Because even if you do have the cleanse, there's still going to be a lot of damage in that one location. But now Melthiel going to be the ban for Roll 1 Esports. Tychus is already locked in, so they're going to have a little bit of that percent health damage, if that was their concern. On the other hand, Melthiel does do quite well into Dahaka. But it's not going to be the Anduin ban, it's going to be the Joanna ban. The Roll 1 Esports, they still need a tank, still need a healer, and then a flex. Could be another bruiser, or they could just go 2 bruiser, have the triple bruiser frontline, no need for a tank. And they are going to take the Anduin and the Thrall. So Anduin, obviously, like I was saying, very good answer into Varian Stukov. Probably the simplest way to counter that combo. Because whenever you do have the taunt into the lurking arm, even if you are cleansed, there's going to be a lot of damage being dealt to you. But Anduin's going to not only cleanse you, but also pull you away from whatever pool of damage is going to be landing at those feet, and keep you away from any follow-up. And now the final picks coming through for Bunker Funtime, Falstad, and Deathwing. That's a very interesting one. Likely to be the offlaner. And Raven X going to play the Falstad as Alumini Bree. Going to play the Deathwing. Now I'm wondering if they could also put the Falstad into the offlane. Actually performs decently well into Dahaka. You get a decent amount of stacks if they're going the auto attack build. And the hammering build is a little bit harder to stack, but regardless, final pick coming through, and it's going to be the ETC. So this Thrall is going to be the melee assassin Thrall, not going to be the offlane. They could try to do 1-3-1, but it's very interesting to see the ETC here. They actually don't have too many ways of canceling the mosh pit. If Rocky or W is able to get onto a couple members, it could definitely turn the fight, could definitely turn how this game goes. But now, let's get ready for game number 1 between Bunker Funtime and Roll 1 Esports. All right, and we're finishing loading into this second series of the day. Division B West, Bunker Funtime versus Roll 1 Esports. Now, it does seem like Plant Fox is the one behind. So hopefully we won't need to do a reset. We have had a couple of delays this past week due to some issues. But no, Plant Fox does seem to be moving at least a little bit in this loading screen. But regardless, looking at these two drafts, I'm not sure who entirely to favor here. I do think it's going to depend a lot on who's able to get the stacks early, or on the fall stat specifically for Raven X. because Falstad scales super well into the game, regardless of the build. Just a very strong late game hero, and especially once level 20's hit with that wind tunnel, becomes so difficult to play into it. But now, looks like 9 of the 10 members are grouping mid. Zad likely to burrow somewhere maybe? Or maybe just a bit late to walk out through here. And I am interested to see what this talent's going to be for Raven X. And it is going to be the Hammerang build. So it's not going to be the auto attack Falstad that we do sometimes see. Now Rocky W, you're gonna see Alumini Bree. Is Alumini Bree just gonna land the stun and walk away? Not too worried about death there. It's still just level 1. The DPS isn't quite there to take down 100% of a Deathwing's HP. Now looking for the push forward. And Bunker Fun Time, they will be able to get first move. But it will be answered pretty soon by Roll1 Esports. Now, Raven X and Plant Fax already all the way to the spot side. They're already going to get the clear. And it is going to be Alumini Bree versus Zad over in this top side. And with the Earth Shatter, we'll be able to just help clear out the wave. Molten Flame going to be utilized as well later on. Should be difficult to match, but now 5 members, they have the Chastise on to Zednam. Dichel also in a bad spot, gonna get rooted up and is trying to walk away. Needs just a little bit more healing, but the damage just not there. Haunting Wave gonna get thrown out by Jason. Very close to a first blood for Roll1 Esports, but they weren't able to get it. Dicello will be able to heal back up, and because of that, Alumini Bree can zone away Zad and make it harder to get the extra XP. So a little bit of soak gonna be missed for that play, but very close fight. And now the siege camp gonna get finished off by Jason. Gonna get mashed on the left side by Bunker Funtime. But now Raven X gonna get jumped upon. They have the root, they have the Chastise, and will be able to get first blood. Roll1 Esports playing strong. They weren't able to get in the first play, but the second play, that's all you need. 2 attempts. And with that, they're gonna be able to get the kill, and they're also gonna be able to take this bot side siege camp. And they can push with it, maybe get one of these structures down from the wall and play around that. Now Zad is walking forward. Plant Fox just DPSing on it from the wall, and Zad is in stasis, but is quite low. Overpower gonna get thrown. Or sorry, not overpower. I always mistake that ability. Overkill. But now with the bot lane, they have the black arrows. They have the siege camp. They're not able to get onto Zad, and because of that, they're going to be able to take down this entire wall. The gate and the bot cannon tower are already gone. The top one going to follow. Zakon taking a decent amount of damage. Level 4 has come through, and the taunt will land during the power slide, so they will be able to just back away. Slowly but surely, Roll1 Esports definitely able to get themselves these leads. Now they'll also be able to shove down mid, and this siege camp shouldn't be able to take down too much of this building, but it will be some extra damage going onto this wall. Now Velvet and Juaniba gonna be aiming towards their bruiser camp, and also gonna get matched on the other side by Dicello, Plantfax, and Alumini Bree. Then I'm also gonna join, so it's 5 members of Roll1 Esports all working on the bruiser camp, while 4 members now down to 2, gonna be doing it for Bunker Funtime. But now the skeletons have spawned. Roll1 Esports already on to the play. Zednam looking to walk forward, trying to steal something, but not really able to. Now Raven X also throwing out the Hammerang. Still needs 7 stacks for that big bonus. And the Molten Flame just used as a zoning tool. And Bunker Funtime, they're able to strong arm Roll1 Esports to get away. The Molten Flame, once again, just doing so much damage. Now they have the taunt onto the throw, but Velvet able to just run away with that bonus move speed. Rocket W trying to walk forward, and we'll be able to take a couple. And now the Earth Shatter lands on all 5 members. But same with the healing. Zadnam looking for the play in the front. Will get hit by the Chastise. Molten Flame in the back. And with the lurking arm. And they will be able to get the final hit from Zadnam. The twin blades. Too strong. So it's going to be 1 for 1. But the skeletons are still pretty even. Roll1 Esports, it doesn't look like they want to come back and contest it. But they're only down 5. Only a little bit left for Bunker Funtime. But it does look like they're fully giving it up. And the first Punisher, the Arcane Punisher, going to Bunker Funtime. But now, in the meanwhile, in this top side, the Bruiser Camp is still pushing in. Alumini Bree going to try clearing it away with the Molten Flame, as Zad will deal DPS, but the real main push is going to be here. And actually able to dodge away onto this jump. Now, the Arcane Punisher, it's still also the first Punisher of the game. Not going to be too tanky, not going to be able to deal too much damage. But they are going to be able to take down one of the cannon towers, get a little bit of damage on the wall. But during all this, Raven X was also soaking bottom. So they decided to trade the pressure from the Punisher for a little bit of an XP lead. Just a little below half a level is their lead because of that play. And now both sides, once again, going to get started onto their siege camps. And it is going to be hard to out DPS a Thrall Sylvanas onto neutrals. So that's always going to be a little bit of pacing. The Bunker Fun Time will be falling behind on. But now they are looking for the Death Brush as they do get started onto this bot side siege camp. And now Rocket W just walking forward. They do land the taunt. And with the minigun, Plant Facts able to deal so much damage. But they get zoned away. And Roll One Esports just gonna be able to take this for themselves. They have the full camp going in their favor. And now they're gonna be able to get the push over in this bot side again. It will close the XP lead a little bit. And Rocket W looking to aim forward, but not going to be able to get the face mount in a good direction. Big grenade able to land onto all 4 members, but Juaniba is still full mana, so will be able to just heal the team quite easily. But the siege camp not going to be able to land onto the wall. But now Alumini Bree fighting against that. But the entire squad of Roll One Esports is here, but they won't be able to break that first armor spot. And the rest of the squad is now here. Rocket W just going to jump over the wall with the power slide, as both teams are regrouping. Level 10 almost hit by Bunker Fun Time, so they are going to have a bit of a power play coming up soon. They are looking to fight right now. Plant Fox looking for a Rocker W, but will just power slide away. Level 10s are now hit for Bunker Fun Time, and they will need a little bit on Roll One Esports before they get their own. But can they really get anything with this pressure? There's not enough time. There's nothing to fight over. And because of that, level 10 should be getting matched soon. They're aiming towards Zad right now. Raven X gonna throw down the lightning rod. They see Zad running through bushes, and the Hawk is just so fast. It's so hard to keep up if you're trying to chase him while DPSing. And now the push does come through in the bot lane. So level 10's on both sides. Next Punisher, by the way, is going to be the Mortar Punisher up in this top lane. Should be starting to spawn someone soon. I expect we'll get the announcement any minute now. But now Rocky W actually has an interesting spot, but does get spotted out by Zednam, using the twin blades to show we know exactly where you are. And now the shrine is going to be activating 30 seconds away. And actually the mid lane wall does get finished off by a wave of minions. So Bunker Fun Time able to get a little bit of extra pressure that way. Alumini Bree gonna lose one of the cannon towers on this top side as they auto attack the rest. And I'm just curious what this build is. So it's going to be percent health, molten flame damage, the landing abilities, and birth beneath my shadow. So being able to play on objectives is going to be pretty big for this Deathwing. And now Bunker Fun Time, they do have the first move here onto the skeletons. And now Zednam looking to walk forward, already used the protection. Now Juaniba throws out a heal, and Raven X is going to fly in. But now the Earth Shadow lands on a Velvet. They have the taunt, but the mosh pit over the back ring gonna get canceled by the grenade. But the light bomb with the drag, but with the swipes, they will be okay. Now Cataclysm go down over top. Velvet is the one that's kind of in the middle of everyone. Will get silenced, will get slowed, but with the healing, will be okay. And now the Earthquake does come through, and they have the Silence Molten Flame over top, but it's not enough. Roll One Esports able to get one. And it's this 1-for-0 is pretty big, but it's still pretty short respawn timers. And we got a pause. Unfortunate timing for that. But you know what? Sometimes you can't really help it. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. And they actually had 2 players DC at the same time. So hopefully we'll be able to get back into this soon. I'll be keeping an eye out on the chat, and I'll be updating you as we go. So this may be a more elongated pause, because 2 members leaving at the same time could be a chance that their internet has gone out. But yeah, with that being said, right now the game is still really close, and that's what I wanted to see from these 2 and 3 positions in Division B West. XP lead is null and void right now. These team fights are really all it's going to be. And what I'm really curious about going into this mid to late game is who's going to be able to scale further. Because Roll One Esports, I do think they have the stronger team fight. They have Light Bomb, they have Earthquake, Wailing Arrow, Mosh Pit, obviously. All really powerful team fight abilities. However, I do believe the Falstad will scale a bit better, and same with Tychus. Those two heroes scale super well into the late game. Stukov obviously super powerful and very good pick comp from Bunker Funtime. So if they're able to take down one of these heroes before the fight starts, it could change a lot in terms of how the rest of the team fight goes, how the rest of the game moves. So I think it's really hard to tell, even at going to the mid to the late game, who's really going to be able to take advantage of who and who really wants the scaling. Okay, so the update is they did not, their entire house lost internet. So hopefully that can be resolved soon. I'm not sure what happens if someone DCs, especially mid-game, whether they have to play 3v5. I assume that's what it would be. Hard to tell right now. Yeah, I'll keep you updated as more information's coming through. The players are just trying to play rock, paper, scissors through chat. I typically try not to show chat, by the way, so if any of you are wondering why I'm not showing that, that's because I like to give the players a little bit of privacy off stream, you know? Just something that is not going to be permanently etched on the internet. I don't expect they'll say anything bad to each other. Pretty much everyone I've met in the NGS has been absolutely fantastic. But just to give them that extra little bit of comfort, you know? Not get into the players' own heads with all chat. But yeah, as updates come through, I'll keep them coming, but not too much quite yet. I'm just gonna sit here, sip my tea, enjoy the music. I am really happy with the music that I've gotten, by the way. Has had a couple issues just because the license only sometimes works on Twitch, so I have to contest it, and I usually win like literally immediately, but still annoying. Totally worth buying it though. I think it really adds a little something, and it makes casting a lot nicer too, if I may say so. Now the real question is what is the main meta for rock, paper, scissors? Jason says rock is great at rock, paper, scissors, but only when someone picks scissors. So I'm still not sure why they're just talking about rock, paper, scissors, but that seems to be the current idea. Now I'm wondering what this pause is going to do in terms of the momentum that Roll1 Esports had, because it is two members of Roll1 Esports that have DC'd. So, in fact, I'm going to turn off chat for a little bit. Going to get back into the map, and we're just going to walk through this a little bit. I'll add the music, though, just for the extra little ambiance as we stroll through. But it is these two that DC'd, obviously, since they're a hard thing. And they're going to lose a decent amount of pressure onto these skeletons. They did manage to get the pick off. But because of this pickoff, if both of them reset, it doesn't really amount to much. Because by the time they reset, by the time they get back, it's not going to take too long for the variant to respawn and get back into this map as well. And before that does happen, for a short little while, it is 4v3. And Bunker Funtime, they're already up in the lead when it comes to skeletons, 11-3. However, one thing to note is that they are getting pushed in, at least through the bot lane. Mid lane, I believe they will be pushing in slightly, but neither of these matter too much. Until the cannons come out, it's not going to matter in any super meaningful way. Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this will do to the momentum. They do have the Bruiser camp pushing in, and that might help by a little bit of time. But it definitely really sucks for Roll1 Esports. It gets so much harder for them because of losing this momentum just as the teamfight ended. This isn't just like a moment where they were farming. This was kind of in the middle of everything. But now still no new updates. They were still talking about now rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock for anyone who watched that show. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to talk about here. The game is at a standstill. Hopefully we can get restarted soon, but it's kind of hard. Internet issues just happen out of nowhere sometimes. Maybe resetting the router helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends where you are in the world. In North America, I guess, for NGS. Whether you're out in the countryside, out in the city, things change a lot for that. Yeah, I guess I can take a look at the talent here. You know what? This is a rare opportunity for me to try and learn how talents work, because I am not good at finding builds. I do not know any builds. I'll be completely honest. It's my main flaw as a caster. I'm a terrible analyst. I don't actually know who's late game. I don't know who's early game. And that's kind of my goal for this season, to get better with that, learn the talents. I do know these talents quite well. I play a lot of Fowl, and it's one of my most played heroes in the game. So this is something I'm familiar with. But now it is going to be the quarterback in the rhythm. So it's going to be the talent that actually increases the length of it. And I've noticed that overkill is commonly the talent taken at level 4. It's interesting that it is going to be that extra max HP. And it's interesting to me because I don't think there's really anyone on Worldwide Esports that is that big beefcake in terms of health, because it is an ETC. It is the Dahaka. They have some HP, obviously, as frontliners, but they're not like the Diablo, the Cho'Gall, because apparently that's relevant now. Or even the Deathwing, just something that has a ton of HP that you get more value out of it. So it is a curious talent for me. And then Melting Point for the Grenade and Commandeer Odin. So those are all pretty standard. I believe that most of the grenade talents are just flat out good for Tychus. Helps a lot with long range poke, and the grenade deals an absurd amount of damage sometimes. Considering how long range it is if you get quarterback, it's so easy to land so much poke damage throughout the game. Now it is going to be Taunt. And I am curious. So it's actually called Lion's Fang. I've been calling it Twin Blades. Whoops. Oh yeah, Twin Blades is this thing. That's to buff the Lion's Fang. Now it's going to slow longer and deal more and more damage after they get through. So the 25 hits, that's what's really important. Now what do they got? Lionheart. Increases the healing from heroes. I didn't even know it healed. So there we go. We're learning already. I'm going to quickly take a look at chat. Yeah, still nothing. And then shield wall going to get turned in as well. So interesting. I always thought that Perry always had full damage clear. I guess that is the talent over at level 10. So level 10 is still pretty powerful for the Varian. Now what do we got here? Lurking Arm deals more damage. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, this extra 1 second is actually so big because sometimes you really cannot hold it, and it adds so much extra time to it if you just want to do a quick Lurking Arm. Now the biggest reuptake, bio kill switch. Okay, just more healing. And the extra 50%. It is interesting that it was swipe instead of extendo arm. I still refuse to even learn what the other heroic ability is called. I'm just always going to call it extendo arm for the rest of my life, I think. I just find it funny. And what do we got here? Molten Blood, some more health. Molten Flame dealing more damage. So landing ability is going to be chucked out here as well. Oh, when paused, I shouldn't have the game up? Really? Oh, whoops. My bad. Thank you for that, Eternally Blue. I'm just trying to get some content in between, but I do apologize. I don't even know if this game is going to continue because we've been kind of waiting for, I believe now, 10-ish minutes. So hopefully they'll be able to re-log in soon. But it is a bit of a rough spot right now. Does anyone know what the rules are for this? Oh, apparently their router is completely shot and broken. That's the issue. The router literally will not turn back on. It's not even a question of turn it off and on. It's already off and it's not coming back on. So hopefully they'll be able to have some pause time. Okay, so it looks like they have about 1 minute left on pause bank. And And I believe after that, they do have to play 3v5. But I'm wondering if they're even going to be able to finish this series. Okay, so their current idea is to try tethering off the phone and hotspotting. So this could be very interesting to see how this goes. I wonder how powerful the internet would be for that. Yeah. No, it's a real shame. I was really looking forward to this series. I was hyping it up for a reason. The second and third position playing each other for first place. If they're not able to actually play it out, then it's just going to be the classic 2-0 into first place for Bunker Funtime. Or not? Did they get first place? No, I believe they've already lost to the first place team. Now they should be running out of pause time pretty soon, so they're going to have to just play with the AI. They haven't said anything in chat yet, and I do appreciate the Bunker Funtime. They're not really rushing them. They're not really pressuring them like, hey, where is this? Where is this? They've been very patient. That's 10 minutes, not 15? Interesting. I think we've been past 10 minutes, I'll be honest. We could check later in the VOD. I don't really care, though. I'm not a referee. I just yell at my screen. That's my role here. So hopefully they'll be able to reconnect soon. I will say one thing I am glad about, as someone who also casts League of Legends, this rarely happens in HOTS. This happens like at least once or twice a week in League. It's so frustrating. Like if the league is only going 4 days a week, you will have this happen at least twice. Half the games. There's even a current bug for any of you who's interested, where sometimes if in the middle of the game, it'll randomly kick the spectator out, and if the spectator gets kicked out, they will never be able to go back in. So we've had productions before where we just get kicked out at minute 2. And that's with delay, so obviously the players are far more into it. And then we just get kicked out and we can't even stream the game. So I do appreciate a lot of what HOTS has. Obviously it's not updated as much as we'd love to. But at least the main game is still functioning pretty well. There's not too many bugs. There's not too many issues overall. But yeah. The router is fully dead. That's the update we got. They're trying to phone tether. That's genuinely going to be their solution for this game. B West is a fairly close group of people. That's good to hear. Because genuinely, like, NGS, as bad as it sounds, like, at the end of the day, this is a community. There's no money up for grabs. There is pride, and I know a lot of people will play pretty hard just to show they are the best. But at some point, they are just going to be having fun playing it. But it looks like they should be getting back in shortly. So, going to turn off the chat and we're going to be right back in. I don't know if anyone remembers where we were. I'm going to turn off the... Whoops, I'm turning off the music in the wrong spot. Yeah, I'm just going to turn it off for now. Okay, and they are getting started. With the delay, it shouldn't matter. Let's get into game.
A hero has left the battle.
Alright, so Waniba and Zad are going, and Rocker W are going to be back here. So they're going to start playing towards these skeletons, and the Bruiser Camp is going to start getting taken down by Dicello and Plant Pack. Oh, sorry, just give me a little moment to regain my bearings. It has been a little bit. But the Bruiser Camp is going to get finished off, but it looks like the Mortar Punisher will get secured for Roll 1 Esports. They were able to get that kill, and they were able to turn it into this objective. And now with the Bruiser Camp pushing in top, level 13 talent has been hit for Bunker Funtime. And actually Roll 1 Esports, they're holding it to 39 skeletons. I think they want to get that level 13 talent first, and now they're going to start pushing for it. They're pretty close. Zad should be able to pick up that level 13 pretty quickly on their own. And now it's going to be the 4 push top. And now Odin is going to get thrown out just to help push them away. And one even gets taken out at half HP just with that Odin combo into the lurking arm. Now the black arrows have been tossed out onto the fort as well. Already at 52 stacks on Gathering Storm, by the way. So this is going to be a pretty powerful ball set as we head later and later into the game. Now, Odin going to be taken down, and the Punisher is going to follow. So it's going to be 3/4 health onto the fort. Once again, still not taken down. And Zad actually able to take down the siege camp over in this bot lane, as they are one-on-one versus Alumini Bree. Now, Earthshatter going to land for the stun. And the Molten Flame just going to get tossed out to help clear this away. Siege Camp's going to get started by both these sides. Rocket W going to be able to get it pretty quickly. And Bunker Funtime haven't even started on theirs. So this could be a point of contention for Roll 1 Esports. They are still behind in XP, just slightly, less than half a level. And Black Arrows are going to get thrown down in this middle, but they have the taunt and the Cataclysm over top with the Lurking Arm. Rocket W going to get gusted back into the Lurking Arm. And they do have the Molten Flame, and they're going to get 2. Thrall's going to get taken down here as well. And that gust into the Lurking Arm, back into the Lurking Arm, I should say. Huge plays coming out of Bunker Funtime. And they're regaining their XP lead. Unfortunately for them, there isn't really any big objectives to grab, but they will be able to get the push, and they'll finish off the gate. And now Raven X getting jumped upon. Zad looking for the play, looking for the dragon. Will be able to land it into the light bomb. So they will trade one back. But in the meanwhile, there's 4 members up top for Bunker Funtime. They're going to be using everything. Molten Flame, and with the wave, they should be able to take down this fort. Maybe trade on the spot side. Black Arrows are there for Jason. But the top fort will go down first. And now Bunker Funtime, they do have the first move, so they could try to continue this. They're looking towards this mid lane fort. And with the Cataclysm, could actually help take it down. But everyone is starting to roam up. They're in a weird spot. Dicello actually going to get hit with the stun as well. And the mosh pit there. Dicello going to go down. And now can they get anything else? They have the Chastise onto Zednem. And Zednem will follow. Another 2 for nothing. But this time is for Roll 1 Esports. Now level 16, it has been hit by both these teams. And Velvet going to get hit very low. And actually they're able to burst down the Sylvanas in the backline during that. The grenade toss and the hammerang with the Molten Flame just dealing so much burst. This roster, this draft from Bunker Funtime is just so powerful when it comes to single target DPS. And that's exactly what you want when you do play the Varian Stukov combo. But now Roll 1 Esports will be able to steal back this siege camp. They're going to be able to get at least something going back their way. But will Bunker Funtime look to try and contest onto any other fight? It looks like they're just trying to position to clear this away early. So they're not going to get too much value out of the push. But that's still going to close the level lead just a little bit. And with their Bruiser camp back up, Roll 1 Esports should be in a very good place to even out the lead. Now both teams are on level 17. So no one's anywhere near that level 20 talent, and that will be the next upgrade. And Odin actually going to get utilized early. I'm a bit surprised about that. And with these 2 extra skeletons over in the top right, actually going to go the way of Roll 1 Esports. Now they have the first move. They have gone a lot of skeletons already for Bunker Funtime. Alumini Bree just trying to zone people away with the Molten Flame and dealing so much damage actually. But Plantfax Zad grouping into the back, looking for Dicello. Gotta go into stasis. Will be okay for now. But the Earthshatter lands onto so many members, and the Molten Flame dealing more and more damage in the backline. They're just gonna zone them away. The poke damage is so strong by Bunker Funtime, and they should be able to secure this Frost Punisher for themselves. Now in the meanwhile, Raven X and Zad both over in this top side. Pretty big wave with the Bruiser camp, but the main Shaman will get taken down. So they will be able to clear it out. Now they're looking over towards Rocket W, but with the Leap of Faith, we'll be okay. Cataclysm gonna get thrown towards the mid lane as well. And the Earth Shatter gonna land onto Velvet, but they don't have any other follow-up. Velvet just trying to DPS a little bit. Is in a bit of a weird spot. Probably gonna have to go all the way around. But now they're going to start damaging onto these structures. And Velvet actually looking to play aggressively. Zednem not in range to get the taunt. So they will be able to get a good chunk of damage onto this wall. But in the meanwhile, Zad, I should say, already pushing into this bot side. Has the siege camp, has the cannon, and will just hearth back and will be safe. So good decent amount of poke. Actually taking down one of the gates. Actually both the gates. And the cannon tower. Now the siege camp is back up for Roll 1 Esports. They're going to be able to secure that. And the bruiser camp is up for Bunker Funtime, so they'll be able to take that. Right now, Structure's slightly favoring Bunker Funtime. They have 2 forts to the 1. They have 1 left in the top there that's quite low, but Rowan Esports looking for the trap. They're looking towards Aluminum Bria. They're bringing 4 members down, but with the Cataclysm, we'll be able to just run away, but that's still a major cooldown burned. For really just a macro move from Roll1 Esports, they did not have to burn any major cooldowns, so now Raven X was trying to stop them from getting mounted, but just barely out of range, just a little bit too slow. But the push is still going to be coming through for Bunker Funtime. As Zad is trying to push over the top side, we'll be able to finish off the last little bit of that bruiser camp and could even look towards that top lane fort. Flight has been burned. Aluminum Brie also not in a position to contest it. We'll use the Molten Flame just to clear away that last wave. And now these minions are going to start poking away at this fort, but the fight has started. They have this on Sleep of Faith for Rock Your W. Just going to be enough, but now the bro charge from Zad from behind. They see Zad, the Raven X looking for it. Gonna just get the lightning rod for now. Will get the slow with the hammerang. Zednam not gonna be able to land the taunt. Doesn't have the range, and it's 5v4 down here, and they're looking for it. The Gust just gonna be used defensively. And once again, Rowan Esports, just with their passive pressure, are forcing big cooldowns out of Bunker Funtime. And now they will be collecting this push over in the mid lane. Level 20 now hit by both teams virtually at the identical moment. So now we have hit the late game. Still only 59 stacks on Gathering Storm. Was doing pretty well at one point, but there just hasn't been much fighting since then. Not since that top lane kerfuffle. As Rocker W once again trying to zone away Raven X, and this bot side siege camp going to be going the way of Roll1 Esports. Should be pretty free for them. I don't know how much they'll be able to push, as Rock Your W just trying to zone them away so they cannot contest on it. But the next shrine will be over on the bot side, and Bunker Funtime will have a little bit of a passive push in the mid lane, but that shouldn't be too far for Roll1 Esports to be able to deal with it. Now, however, what they can do right now for Bunker Funtime is they do have the first move and the inside tracker from this bot lane. They can start taking down this fort. There is no one here for Roll1 Esports. They've elected to take their full roster up top to get this bruiser camp. And the bruiser camp will be able to provide a little bit of pressure over the top side, but losing a fort for that, I don't know if that's the right call. But now they are going to get started on this end. I wonder if they're just planning on doing a full base race right now. Roll1 Esports, and this was their strategy all along. They're throwing out the black arrows, and they're getting started on this wall immediately. Is anyone going to be answering them? For now, it doesn't seem that way. It's just going to be Aluminum Brie going to land over on this bot side, or in this top side, and with the Molten Flame, just trying to keep them away. Earth Shatter gonna get thrown as well, gonna stun on a 3. Raven X is here for the damage, and with the Wind Wall, gonna pull a bunch of them away, and just trying to buy as much time as possible. But now the Mortal Punisher has been done. Cataclysm gonna get thrown out just once again to help with the clear. But it does look like they're just going to be able to take down this keep. But no, with the Molten Flame, they have more than enough damage to just keep them away. That's a lot of damage to the keep, but in the end of the day, that's not any permanent damage. And now Velvet trying to run away. Zednam looking for the play, but Rocky W going to be able to use the blink over the wall and will remount and just back away. No one goes down during that play, but while they're all chasing each other and running back, the Mortar Punisher is continuing to push in this bot lane, getting so much value right now. Took down the entire wall and is now aiming towards this keep. And the Mortal Punisher kills it very quickly. Rocky W going to be taking up a couple of these autos. And now the side of Bunker Funtime also going to start pushing towards this mid lane. And this Punisher actually going to take this down just as low, if not lower, than the keep in the top side for Bunker Funtime. But however, they're going to be able to take the keep in mid. So huge victory for Bunker Funtime. Roll1 Esports will be able to answer with his cannon. One more hit, and that'll be all she wrote. So now, one keep apiece, but the final keep standing for Roll1 Esports. Very unhealthy. Just a little bit of DPS will be enough. But now they're aiming to contest onto the siege camp. Rocky W looking to play immediately. And they will be able to get the route onto PlantFax, but PlantFax will be able to just back away. They secure the siege camp. It's going to get cleared away, so it's not going to accomplish too much. But that could have been deadly for Bunker Funtime. It'll give them a little bit of extra pressure in mid. It'll slow down Roll One Esports. They're going to have to come back and deal with it. As Alumini Bree going to land back down. And the Bruiser Camp will get cleared out by Bunker Funtime. And now Alumini Bree, they see Zad. Zad in a bad spot will be forced to just Hearth. But no, is actually walking up. So Alumini Bree going to get the Earthshatter. They do have the stun. And Zad's in a really bad spot. Just trying to run back and forth. But I believe Zad should just be gone here. Surely there's no way they get away, right? And with a swipe, actually helps Zad a little bit. Zad is going to be able to walk away. Dahaka, good hero, well balanced. I'm so excited for the nurse. I'll be honest, that's my main bias. I hate Dahaka for that very reason. Any other hero called 1v5 against the wall would go down, but not Dahaka. But the Brush Stalker was just used to go top, and now it's 4v5 over the bot side. Raven X could be looking for the play, but now they have the power slide, but not able to land the dogs. But all of them will be able to just back away. But this is going to be extra pressure right now for Bunker Funtime. They're going to walk forward, and they will be able to just finish off this bottom keep. So now there's going to be extra push coming out for Bunker Funtime. 2 keeps to 1. There is the siege camp over on this bot side, and with an extra catapult as well. And with that being said, Rocky W is still going to aim towards them. I don't think they're going to be going for the engage quite yet, but they will clear away this bot side. However, Black Arrow is going to get thrown down over in this mid lane. And now Raven X going to use the flight just to get to the defense faster. They have the extra slow on a Velvet, and the dog's not going to land. Rocky W not going to get taunted. Power slides over the wall once again. And with that, they will finish off this wave. And the only structure left for Roll One Esports is the top lane, which could be good or bad. But now Rocky W is going to get taunted and sides with a lurking arm and just immediately burst down. Bunker Funtime able to deal so much damage, but now they have the Cataclysm. They're looking for more. They have the Earthshatter. Velvet's going to go down as well. Molten Flame zoning everyone else away. Now it's just Zad trying to get away. Is going to get slowed and silenced by the lurking arm, but not enough damage to follow. But Juaniva is in a bad spot, but will land the Chastise, so we'll be okay. And now it's going to be 5v3. They don't have a wave, but they do have more members. And now the Odin is going to be coming through. Molten Flame just trying to DPS as fast as possible. Big red button dealing so much damage to the core. It's 3v5, and they're just burning everything, trying to keep them away. Juaniva gotta come in with the light bomb, able to deal so much damage, but I think it's too little, too late. Bunker Funtime will win game number 1. Very close game, but just that one last pickoff on Rock Your W, that's all they needed. And when you're playing the pickoff comp, that's all you should need. The amount of burst they had, it doesn't matter that it's an ETC. If you're caught out even slightly, you are going to go down. They played aggressively. They tried to get onto that camp, and they were able to secure it for themselves. High risk, high reward. Now we're going to go to a short break, but when we come back, it'll be game number 2.